title, the World Championship. He's got it, great shot, and hits the jack and changes everything dramatically. Cracking ball. She's got the weight, she's got the line. He's hit it. She has won the gold medal in a pulsating final.
This is where legacies are made, and it is the first finals day of the 2023 World Bowls Championships from the Gold Coast. What a day we have in store. The first ever para gold medals to be awarded at the tournament, which is very exciting. Not to mention the fact that there are 7 gold medals to be decided this weekend, including 5 today and 3 on this rink. Fehlberg here with you for the clash between Australia and South Africa in the Vision-Impaired Mixed Pairs final at the tournament. Very much looking forward to this one. The finalists of the Multi-Nations earlier this year, which was a prelude to this tournament. And joining me this morning are 2 World Championships, royalty at this tournament, Brett Wilkie and Julie Keegan. Welcome.
Good morning, Val.
Good morning, Val.
Very much looking forward to this. Brett, obviously you've been here before. You're the only ever male gold medalist to win 2 gold medals for the Jackaroos. So that could change today. So you might have a new member of the club. But how does it feel for you coming back to the tournament when you know what's on the line and you've tasted the ultimate glory?
Yeah, it was amazing walking in here this morning at Club Helensvale. It's a magnificent setting with all the grandstands, the crowds rolling in. It's a glorious day and looking forward to some great bowls.
Certainly are. And Julie, you've won one before as well, 2008 in the 4s with Claire, Lindsay and Karen. Now, this must bring back so many special memories for you because the 4s are on the other green, but you know what's on the line today, and it must just, as Brett said, bring back some wonderful memories.
Oh, it definitely does, and it's just wonderful to be here, and the excitement for these guys being out there. They've done very well to get here to the finals, and it's just a very proud moment for all of them. And so there'll be a few nerves out there, and lots of excitement buzzing in the first few ends for them.
And here are the teams this morning. This is the clash of the titans in vision-impaired bowls at the moment. And Herman Scholtz at 63 years old. He's using the Henselite Dreamline XGs, as is May Homer at 65. Now, they won the Multi-Nations, as I said, this year together. May is an IBBA World Championships gold medalist from this year in B3, and 10 overall vision-impaired world singles and pairs titles for Herman. So he's pretty handy, but Jake, we know what he can do. He's the 2018 Commonwealth Games gold medalist. He was very, very handy over there in Birmingham last year as well. Won the Multi-Nations silver medal this year, and also Australian Open vision-impaired gold. He's won 7 of those, so he knows how to do it on the Gold Coast. Jacky Hudson herself hasn't been bowling for too long. She's picked up the sport when she retired. Made her debut only this year, guys, and look at what she's doing, Brett. It's an amazing achievement to be doing it within a year of donning the green and gold for the first time.
Yeah, that's right. She won the IBBA World Championship at Tweed Heads in March this year, along with Jake. So yeah, they've gone very well. This pair played each other in the Multi-Nations final, so we've got a repeat here. So yeah, they're very experienced players, and looking forward to a great game.
Certainly, and Julie, it's very interesting to see that you've got Jake at 29, Jacky at 72. It shows that it is a sport for all ages, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. And, hats off to Jacky just taking up the sport. It's just a wonderful achievement for her to be here, and how exciting for her to be out there with her husband.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with May Homer out there with her husband Paul, and Jake Fehlberg out there with Cody, the director for Herman Scholtz, Geoffrey Newcombe. So all 8 people on the green have had a wonderful part to play in this tournament, and very much looking forward to seeing how Jake goes in this final, because we know what he's done previously, and back on home soil, he's a Queenslander. How much would that be playing on his mind, the fact that he's in his home state? He knows exactly what he can do here. He's won a major title here before, and history's on the line for him to become the first para bowler to win a Com Games and World Bowls Championships double. Yeah,
it's very exciting. It's great to see this event included into the World Championships. And yeah, as you say, Jake's from the Gold Coast originally, now living up at Bargara near Bundaberg, but he has played here at Helensvale many times throughout the years in pennants and different events. So he'll know the environment, and looking forward to try and use that to his advantage.
He will know the environment very, very well. And the format here, 15 ends, guys, and 3 bowl pairs. So that means that in the knockout stages anyway, we are untimed, and it also means that if the margin does get beyond 6 with an end to play, or mathematically impossible, we'll stop the match. So that's what happens in the knockout stages, where shots up don't matter. And of course, the para competition this year, Julie, there's going to be a new award. So we've had the Leonard Trophy, the Taylor Trophy. There'll be an award for the para team, which I think is just wonderful for the sport's inclusivity and what it is driving in terms of international sport, because there's a lot of sports where you don't get to see this. The para matches are being contested right up against the open women's fours final.
Yeah, most definitely. It's great to have them, running side by side. It's all inclusive, so it's very good for the sport of bowls itself.
It is a sensational day here at Helensvale. Brett, green speeds, what do you reckon they'll be running at this morning?
I think they are timed roughly around 14.5 when the international technical officials were out there earlier this morning. But as the morning goes on, the sun gets a bit higher, they will quicken up.
They do a great job, the ITOs.
And we're tipping they'll probably get to about 16 throughout the day.
Yeah, we saw that during the week with the, we were here for men's pairs action earlier on in the week, and my word, they were flying. I think they had to take a 10-foot draw line or something like that. So if it does get to that speed, these combatants will have their work cut out for them. Of course, this is the first of 3 matches on this rink today. The para women's pairs between Scotland and New Zealand will be up next, and then after that, the men's triples final. Australia versus Scotland. They might not be playing directly against each other, but everyone loves the romanticism of a Sheriff versus Marshall final, don't they?
Yeah, it's an exciting final. If you had to pick 2 teams, you probably would have went that way at the start of the tournament. They both had their little hiccups along the way, but they've made it through to the final, and looking forward to an amazing match.
Now, these two, they met in the multi-nations final. As I said earlier this year, South Africa got the better of Australia, and then the South Africans got the better of them in the group stage as well. So what do you think Jake and Jacky will be thinking right now?
I think they've just got to go out with a positive mindset. That what happened throughout the rounds and, previous games, that's history. So they'll be just going out there, just, playing their game, not worrying about what the South Africans are doing, and just put their best foot forward.
So very calm morning. The breeze is picking up a little bit, and what an amazing tournament it's been so far. And what are some of the highlights for the two of you from the first week? Obviously, it is nearly at its conclusion, but we'll start with you, Brett. What do you think, what's been the one for you? Obviously, the women's fours yesterday was pretty exciting.
Yeah, their finish yesterday, the Australian women were 6 down with 2 ends to play, got 2 threes. Very exciting finish. Everyone was on the edge of their seats and went to an extra end, and they were fortunate enough to get through that game. But I think, this is the biggest world championships we've ever seen. We've got 44 countries, the inclusion of the para. It's just been one big festival. It's been an amazing atmosphere with all some of the new countries that are here that have never been to this championships before. And also, we're only halfway, so we've got another week to go, so which is great to see.
Exactly right. And Julie, what's been the eye-catching moment for you?
Well, definitely the fours. I think, I arrived up there to watch the girls yesterday, and they were down 12-4, and apparently the Scots got out to a 12-0 lead, and 18-8 with 5 ends to go. The Aussies were up against it, and to get 2 threes on the last 2 ends, as Brett said, and some of the clutch bowls that Kelsey Cottrell played to force that extra end was absolutely amazing. And for me, like Christina Christick's been amazing. She on that extra end, she just played the ultimate bowl. But probably pretty hard to go past that game with the men's triples against France. I think that was a cracker out there. They had everything, the weather and the marriage proposal and everything happening on the green. So that was pretty exciting, I think.
That was one of the more bizarre matches I think I've ever been in commentary for, out at Mudgery Bar, and what a great club that is out there. But just absolutely unreal. The French lead, Thomas Voyer, he was the man that ended up proposing to his girlfriend Kiki. She said yes, so that was confirmed. But he only just picked up a bowl for the first time last week.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing, isn't it?
up against Corey Wedlock, and there were times when he outled Wedlock, and it was just simply superb. And the conversion shots that they were making, they weren't afraid to attack the heads, were they? And I think that was the most impressive part, that they weren't overawed by the situation, which against an Australian lineup on the Gold Coast, that would be the most intimidating prospect.
Yeah, they
in
weren't
World Bowls.
phased. They played some clutch bowls at the right time and kept themselves right in touch till the end, and it could have gone either way at the end, right down to the last bowl. So exciting finish.
It was. Now, these four combatants, how important are the directors for them out on the green? Because this is one that you rely so much on what your director is telling you and where they're telling you to bowl, and also the director of the skip up the other end also calling the heads and just making sure that everything is cohesive, because there's a lot of voices out there and all communication needs to be key.
Oh, it's very important. You just seen then the director having their foot helping them with their line. They also have numbers down the side of the green that give them the indication of the length. So the other end, Cody's down there at the moment, he'll tell them roughly where the jack is to what number, and they also know where it is in regards to the mat end. So they're always communicating both the line and also the distance.
They are, as the breeze picks up a little bit. How much of a factor is this going to play, Julie? Because those flags, they're almost upright.
Yes, it's just going to be, I think, a bit, swirly all day by the looks of it. It is definitely picking up, so I think you've just got to pick a good line and just trust it.
Certainly. Australia looking very promising already at home. They're in 5 finals already this weekend with a possibility of a 6th, as Ellen Ryan is out on green 1 playing against Taylor Bruce in the women's singles. Very much looking forward to seeing what she can do there as the skips come up for the final of the trial ends. Herman Scholtz about to pick up a bowl. Jake and Cody Fehlberg make their way down. Of course, Jake was directed by his father, Grant, at the Commonwealth Games in 2018. Up until last year, Grant duly retired, and Matthew Northcott went over to Birmingham with Jake, but now his brother Cody well and truly at the helm in the director's seat.
Yeah, they've got a very good bond. They play a lot of bowls together as well, both when they were at Burleigh Heads here on the Gold Coast and now up at Bargara. I know they were playing pennants at some stage earlier this year together, so they have a very good bond both on and off the green. So it's important. You know, the directors don't just help them on the green while they're here at the event. They're helping them throughout, the night time and the morning. Everywhere they go, they're always there to support their player.
Certainly are. And Jacky Hudson took up bowls after she retired in later life, and to see her doing this, the emotion was well and truly there yesterday under her sunglasses. I was having a chat to her and you could see the tears in her eyes, and it was so wonderful to see, and she just appreciates the opportunity, doesn't she?
Yeah, just fantastic to see. I'm just so happy for all of them out there. Just out there, you can see they're enjoying themselves, and it's just fantastic.
They really are, and it's been a great vibe. The Gold Coast is that. We're lucky to get to see the Australian Open every year, and what that brings to the bowling world and the Festival of Bowls atmosphere, especially in Broadbeach in that last week. I think we had about crowds, 3 deep for those men's pairs quarterfinals, and it was reminiscent of that yesterday with even more people. The grandstand was packed. Julie, you were there yesterday at Broadbeach, and talk to us about the atmosphere and what we can expect here at Club Helensvale today. Yeah,
it was really electric. It was, the people were yelling and cheering on. It was hard, people were sort of vying for a spot, sort of pushing in to try and get in to see the last few ends of the game. So I think the crowd will definitely build as the day goes on here at Helensvale. So I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and expect lots of noise.
We certainly will. Already a little bit of noise coming. We've got a pretty clear look across the entire green here with the women's fours final going on. Australia versus England there with the first of the gold medals to be decided. This one here. First up on ring 2. We've got 3 matches. We're the long rink today. We've got 3 matches that we're going to bring you, as I said off the top, as Jake Fehlberg steps to the mat for his final bowl of the trial ends. And, well, a big thank you to Queensland for putting this event together. Where would you rather be?
As we mentioned earlier, Julie, it was a glorious morning here on the Gold Coast at Club Helensvale, so we're looking forward to some great bowls.
Yeah, definitely are. Brad, you know, the sun's out. There is a little bit of a slight breeze, so that could play a little bit of factor as the day goes on. But, yeah, perfect conditions, really.
Yeah, it's 17 degrees here at the moment at Helensvale. We're expecting a top temperature of 22, so perfect conditions for the bowls. A little bit of breeze, but it's, you couldn't get much better conditions, really. The green's running nice, and it's going to be an amazing day. We'll now throw to Val to interview with the skips.
Thanks very much, guys. Very much looking forward to this contest. And first off, we've got Herman Scholtz standing next to me, multi-nations gold medalist earlier on this year, Herman. And you've had a pretty good tournament so far. So how are things looking for you in terms of the confidence and how you feel you'll go today?
Listen, we're not used to this kind of speed in South Africa, you know. I mean, we play on 12, 13 second greens and maybe at the most 15, 16, and it's nothing compared to this. But we're confident. We're here, we've got to give it a try.
Very nice. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
And I've got Jake Fehlberg next to me as well. Jake, you've won a Commonwealth Games gold medal in this state, in this very city before. How confident are you in playing on these greens again? These are, you know, almost home greens for you at Helensvale. So how confident are you?
I'm quite confident. I'm going to be giving it my best. Been playing pretty good bowls, so it's all down to what we can do on the day.
And a couple of matches against South Africa already this year. That must make you confident you know their game and how they play. So, you know, have you taken much from your previous matches?
Yeah, we've had a couple of results go each way, so yeah, it should be a tight contest.
Set for a massive one today. This is the first ever Parrot gold medal to be decided at the World Bowls Championships. I could not be more excited.
As the players mentioned, they have had a lot of battles over sort of earlier this year, both in March at Tweed Heads at the International Blind Bowlers World Championships, and then again at Multi-Nations. They both had a little bit of taste of victory, so yeah, they both know each other's games, but both won their fair share, so looking forward to another great battle today. So we're just starting the first end now, so with the women's fours is already underway, so you may have heard some clapping from different parts of the crowd, but we're now into our first bowls. Australian Jacky Hudson delivering her first bowl on the backhand now. Australia using blue and the South African team using red.
Sure are. Already good home early on from May Homer. Is there a superstition for you guys? If you had to pick, would you want to be using red or blue? I know athletes they have a certain preference when it comes to colour.
Well, the colours are fairly new into this now, so yeah, they probably would have only been using them in recent times. So sometimes if you win a certain game with a certain colour, you may lean towards that. But you know, really, you don't really want to have that sort of thing in your head. You just want to be out there concentrating on what you need to do, your process, and go through to try and play the best bowls you can.
More things to think about as we get a lot of atmosphere here. We've got the women's fours, as you said, Brett. Now, Julie, the first couple of ends in a final, they're so pivotal. You'd want to get on the board early. How important is it just to get that little foothold in the match? It doesn't matter how you get it, just to see a 1 next on your scorecard.
Yeah, I think if you can hit the ground running, it gives you a lot of confidence. You know, the first thing is, you know, just pick your line, your weight will come. So these guys, you know, they've all had pretty good line here on their bowls. So the first couple of ends, you know, it's just sort of really settling into the pace of the game and, you know, what you're liking, you know, what picking your side that you're preferring and everything like that.
Sometimes with the adrenaline you can be a little bit quick, like Jacky has been with this first couple of bowls, so I think that's quite normal. But as Julie said, her line was good, so that'll come.
The good thing is at least she's quick, but she's on the green, so it gives Jake something to play to.
Yeah, well, it's a respot on the tee if there's a dead end, so always handy to have 1 or 2 bowls around the back.
Yep. Makes it a bit more of a chess game, doesn't it, that killed end, the fact that you respot on the tee.
Yeah, Jake has quite a good drive, so it's always a weapon that he's willing to use.
Yeah, it is a really impressive aspect of his game, and he's played a couple of really big ones this week. Was commentating the rink next door to him yesterday in the women's para-pairs semi-final between Australia and Scotland, and saw a couple of really big bowls from Jake Fehlberg. And just to get the confidence up, I think, just to be on target, and especially the fact that, the vision isn't there. He's relying a lot on Cody to tell him where to bowl, and the fact that he nails them so well, it's a credit to both him and Cody and directors previous.
Jake also uses a little device to help him see from one end to the other.
Yeah, so it works really well. We were trying it out in Birmingham last year.
You just see him now, they're using it, so it helps him see to the other end.
Is it like a binoculars, Brett, or what is it?
I think they call it a monocular. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a similar sort of thing, just with the one eye. So he'll reach for it again so he can watch his bowl finish.
What these athletes do is so impressive, and knowing my bowl's form, it's not great. And then you see these guys who are visually impaired, they just put them so close. They're absolutely wonderful for this sport. And Jake's such a great guy. He's very humble, very shy, but really, really, really funny when he wants to be as well. He's got a very cheeky personality, does Jake Fehlberg.
So you see Herman on the mat now playing the backhand. They're holding 2 at the moment, South Africa, so opportunity to make it 3.
Looking good this bowl here. That's a very good bowl, just in behind the head, perfect position.
Yeah, well, Jake was probably about 2.5 feet through with his first one, so just needs to drop a little bit of weight, narrow it up a little bit. Still on the backhand.
And England take the first hand and lead Australia 1-0.
So in the multi-nations final earlier this year, it was May and Herman over Jake and Jacky, 21-7. So that was the score in the decider there. They've also met in the group stage here. Already fairly solid start for South Africa, getting a few around the head, but Australia, all of their bowls are passed, and you cannot undersell how important being past the jack can be early on, especially if that jack gets moved, and on these greens where they're so quick, Brett.
Yeah, well, Jake's only really got a draw shot at the moment, so there's no real target to run the jack back, so he wasn't too far out with his last one. Just needs to probably drop a foot to 18 inches of weight, just tighten it up a little bit. He did reduce it down to 2 with his last, so still got about 18 inches to draw the shot. The breeze is just blowing across there, that hand, so that backhand is a little bit tighter than the other one, but may have got enough for a second shot, I think.
So the match that the pair played in the group stage this tournament, 13-7 in favour of the South Africans. So 7 the unlucky number for the Australians, it seems. They've lost 2-7 in both of the matches so far that they've met this year, but the final of the World Bowls Championships can play tricks on you.
Yeah, I think that'll be their first little goal in this match, to get past 7 and then go from there.
So, Herman Scholtz.
Just deciding to change hands here. Jake's bowl finished in his line, so got the open draw on the forehand and played another great shot, so he's made 2.
Good start for the South Africans as we kick the bowls away. South Africa on the board first. And, well, that's the trivia question, guys. Which nation scored the very first shots in a para-discipline final at a World Bowls Championships? Well, there it is. Yeah. South Africa. Herman Scholtz and May Homer.
It's their name in history.
It's quite awesome to see how inclusive this sport has become. And all of the teams, I think a lot of the other sports were jealous at the Commonwealth Games last year for how the Australian team travelled around as that Jackaroos family, and you guys have been part of that culture You know, how wonderful is it? And we'll start with you, Brett. Just that Jackaroos family mentality.
Well, I know when I was involved, when we went to the Commonwealth Games, that just being around the para players, it just gives you inspiration. What, as you said earlier, what they deal with, the different disabilities that they have, they get out there, they don't worry about it, and they play amazing bowls, and it's just an inspiration. So I know the Jackaroos all help them whenever they can and work together, train together, and enjoy each other's success, ups and downs together as well. So do everything as a team and a Jackaroos family.
And Julie, you've been part of it as well, and some of the players that you played with is still going. And you know, how wonderful is that culture, and is that why we see such longevity with so many of our players?
I think it is. It is like a second family when you're a part of the Jackaroos team, both on and off the green. They're very supportive in your personal life as well, and everything that you're doing, not just on the green. So I think that's a big thing that Australia does as a whole, as a nation with the bowls, and it's something that a lot of the other countries sort of look up to and want to aspire to.
It is, and we're playing to 15 ends here at Club Helensvale. Bit of a wayward one there from May Homer early. So Jacky, Hudson trying to zone in and nail hers. Just a little bit far off, but it'll do for shot. Dare say the winner hasn't been played yet in this end.
Yeah, the wind's just blowing diagonally across the green a little bit into their face, so as they're looking down the green from the left-hand side, the backhand that May's playing there will be a little bit wider, and they're pushing into the breeze a little bit as well, so they're just trying to find their way with their lines. So it may take them just a few ends just to work out where the lines are with the different sort of breeze that's sort of blowing up and down at the moment. It's not consistent.
Yeah, I think it's definitely changed since the trial ends, Brett. You know, the wind has sort of swapped around a little bit, so it will play tricks with their mind a little bit out there. So they've just sort of got to settle in and, like I said, pick a nice line, and you know, and the weight will come.
It was a very good correction there from May, so very good second shot.
Sensational from May Homer. How different are the conditions between Australia and South Africa? We heard Herman talk about that earlier on in the interview. So you guys have both had experience there. You know, what are the differences between the two countries?
The greens are slower over in South Africa. So Australia and New Zealand traditionally have a lot quicker greens than most other countries. So they have a lot coarser, thicker grass, runs a lot slower. They do have the synthetic surfaces that will run the quicker paces, but the majority of the grass greens are a lot slower, and the wind doesn't have as much effect on those slower surfaces. So with this being a finer, smoother, harder surface, the wind does come into play more often.
Another great bowl there by May.
Certainly winning the lead battle at the moment against Jacky, and 2 ends in, she looks very comfortable out there, does May Homer. Jacky and Rob Hudson. Jacky at 72 years old, the oldest member of our Jackaroos squad.
Yeah, it's great to see a husband and wife team working together.
How's this line coming through from Jacky Hudson? She does need it to get down.
The breeze just blew up there. You can see Cody's jumper there blowing a fair bit, so I just got hold of her bowl early there.
I think that bowl would have been quite good. It just, that breeze, like Brett said, it's just, you know, really come up and held that out and just stopped it going into the head.
It is blowing an absolute gale almost out here. It just really picked up then. So just another factor for the bowlers to have to contend with, and you can kind of hear it in the effects mic there as well. It's sort of swirling around here at green 3.
She was a bit unfortunate there. I think it came up just after she let the bowl go.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it goes. You can't do much about it once it's left your hand.
Mother Nature can play tricks on you. Time for the skips to work their magic.
Just had the score ran the wrong way on the board, I think.
Yep.
Just trying to fix it up.
Yep. I think it said that Oh, it's all horizontal, that's why. They're just confirming it. So the scoreboard, I think they are just going to confirm this, or is it all? No, it's all sorted now. So Herman Scholtz looking to add more silverware to his illustrious trophy cabinet. 24 international medals.
Yeah, he's got quite an impressive resume, hasn't he?
Not bad at all. And a couple of IBBA world titles as well. That was earlier on this year. Brett, as you mentioned, at Club Tweed, what a great event that was.
Yeah, it's always a great event, but it's been here in Australia a few times, and there was another great event down at Tweed Heads, magnificent club down on the border.
Had the pleasure of seeing Club Tweed for the very first time at the indoors. Just since my time at BA, hadn't actually managed to get up there, but or get down there from here. But yeah, it's a wonderful club. It's a monster, isn't it? Just huge.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and with all their new renovations, it's just looking fantastic, the club.
It is. Jake Fehlberg. Opportunity for him to insert his presence on this match. 2-0 in favour of South Africa. First, well, it's 15 ends. Whoever is leading at the end of that is the winner, but unless we are tied, and in that case we go to an extra end, which we saw in the men's pairs quarter-final yesterday between Malaysia and Wales, and the Australian women's fours match against Scotland. The Australian men's pairs in action today as well against Ireland. I reckon Gary Kelly would be pretty sick of seeing Aaron Wilson in a major final. And he wouldn't want to see you either, would he, Brett Wilkie?
Yeah, well, they played each other in the last final, so they're both, magnificent effort from both those players to be in a world final and then 7 years later matching up against each other again. So it's going to be another great game.
It feels strange that 7 years later you're still the reigning world men's pairs champion.
Yeah, I just had a discussion with Karen Murphy earlier today. She said that your reign's come to an end, so
yeah.
With COVID, the extension of it's usually every 4 years, but drawn out to 7 years. So I've been lucky enough to be a 7-year current world champion.
And it'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. So you'll hold that record, don't you worry.
Oh, here from Jake.
Jake Fehlberg, massive.
Yeah, he had a good sider with his first one, and he's just corrected perfect.
It's always good to get that correction with your second one because it gives you a lot more confidence with your third. Herman Scholtz going to try and rectify the situation with his last.
He's holding 2 seconds. He may opt to play a little bit of weight, maybe to try and dislodge the bowl.
Needs it to get down. He's not a mile away.
He was close to a little edge of that blue bowl. May have helped him out.
So Jake Fehlberg, opportunity to pop in a second here.
He gave it a good chance, Herman. He wasn't far away. Good weight.
That was the exact weight that he needed. Jake Fehlberg on the backhand now. Rinse and repeat. It's all he needs to pop in a second here.
Just needs to slip under this blue.
That's what he's done.
Fantastic shot from Jake.
Better than the last. Jake Fehlberg. That's 2 for Australia. And they level proceedings at 2 apiece. Great start to this contest. Val Febo, Julie Keegan and Brett Wilkie joining you from Club Helensvale for the very first para final at a World Bowls Championships. It's history. It's fantastic, and this sport continues to drive inclusivity, and it's 2 apiece after 2. Australia and South Africa, the 2 heavyweights of this field. Australia knocking out the Commonwealth Games champions in Scotland yesterday. Scotland had a monopoly on the para disciplines at the Com Games in Birmingham last year, winning all 3. Australia the victim in 2 of those finals, and Jake and Helen Boardman actually won more matches than Scotland last year at the Com Games. It's just the round-robin format, and they lost in the semi-final.
Yeah, it's the way it can happen sometimes, but it all changes again once you get through the rounds and then into the knockouts. So yeah, Jake and Jacky were fortunate enough to win 12-6 over Scotland in the semi-final yesterday. So yeah, it all starts again once you get into the knockout stages.
It does. All of the permutations of the group stage, they are eradicated, and all you have to do is win. And the intensity, Julie, must drive up a notch when you get to the knockout stages.
Oh, definitely. You've just got to lift that little bit more. You know, the extra little 1%ers are just going to make all the difference. Like we were saying earlier, nerves and excitement all plays a part. But normally after the first 2 or 3 ends out there, hopefully that all goes away. And a lovely start there from Jacky.
Brilliant. From the Fingal Bay products, just north of Newcastle. Jacky Hudson, what a story. And what a lovely lady. Absolutely wonderful human being, and just really relishing her opportunity here at the World Bowls Championships. Now, May Homer. What has she got in reply?
Yeah, she looks like she's playing the backhand as well. Both playing with the same bowl, so they can sort of get a bit of an idea of the line of each other's bowls. Should be very similar. Both using Henselite XGs.
XG has been the predominant bowl that I've seen being used at this tournament. That one right on the precipice of the ditch, but it has stayed up.
Yeah, definitely not wasted there.
No, and it was a good line too, wasn't it?
Very good.
And Jacky's weight was perfect for the first one, so keep that same weight, just tighten it up a little bit.
The good thing is for Australia, they have knocked off the South Africans this year. I mentioned the final of the multi-nations and I mentioned the group stage here, but they beat them in the group stage of the multi-nations as well.
It's going to finish in a very good home there for Jacky.
Yep.
The wind's just not consistent at the moment. It blew up there quite strong before. Now it's quite pleasant at the moment. So
hopefully it stays that way. I like pleasant weather. I've had too much inclement weather this week for my liking after the lightning the other day at Mudgery Bar.
So May had a very good line with the first. Just needs to adjust her weight. About 5 feet. Still probably about 4 feet through that last one. Line wasn't too bad.
No, not at all. May Homer from the Benoni Country Club in Pretoria or Johannesburg. Not too far away from Johannesburg at all. In the outskirts, suburbs of the city.
I've never been to South Africa. Have you been to South Africa?
No, I haven't been there, so it's hopefully one day I might be able to get there and have a look. Heard a lot of good stories. And
I've heard Cape
sort of
Town is
about
sensational. Love to go to one of the cricket test matches over there. The atmosphere looks sensational, and hopefully can tie it in with some bowls. Maybe the next World Bowls Championships after Hong Kong, who knows?
Yeah, they've been a very strong bowls nation over the years. South Africa in Commonwealth Games and World Championships won their fair share of medals.
I think Glasgow 2014 comes to mind when they really lifted and they stormed home, I think, to top the medal tally, or at least push Scotland for gold medals there on those heavy greens up in Glasgow.
Yeah, they went quite well in Delhi as well in the 2010 Commonwealth Games.
Yes, I remember that one. They knocked us out in the gold medal match there, South Africa.
We won't bring that up then.
You see a good shot there from May. Not quite the shot. Australia still holding one on the crossover.
That's a nice little win there for Jacky Hudson, considering May has has won the lead battle in the first 2 ends, and Jacky to just walk up to the head and say, you know what, I've done my job here. It's up to you, Jake. How much of a confidence booster would that be for her? She's got a smile on her face.
Little psychological battle early in the game.
Yeah, different change of length too for them. So, you know, I think that's working, and a bit of confidence there will be fantastic.
This wind has just completely picked up again.
Yeah, it's my fault. I said it was dying off, and now it's back.
The curse of the commentator. Gold Coast has been such an epicentre of bowls this year at the Australian Open, the Multi-Nations, and now the World Bowls Championships, the showpiece event of the sport.
Yeah, we also have the para events at the Australian Open, which have been growing as well as the Open events. They've both been growing in numbers, which is really good.
Jake Fehlberg, he's going to nestle in behind. So good home there. Oh, nice amount of bowls building behind the head here. And you're right, Brett. The para disciplines at the Australian Open that we broadcast to you on the live stream. It is absolutely sensational, and Jake Fehlberg has won 7 of them now, which is quite remarkable. So he's got a wealth of experience on these Gold Coast greens. He knows exactly what he's doing, having lived here and now playing at Bargara. What has Herman Scholtz got? Just going to drop short. Good line.
Yeah, line was enough for the shot. Just a touch of weight, probably about 3.5 feet.
It's Australia. Lost their last couple of matches to South Africa. Looking to rectify the situation and go home with a gold medal. Great to see Serena Bonnell and Cheryl Linfield watching on. They had a bit of a disappointing day yesterday with the women's para pairs semi-final, but they are always here to support their team. Great custodians of this Jackaroo 24/7 mentality and mantra.
Just overcorrected a little bit there, Jake. Tried to take a bit of weight off, just a little bit too much, but wasn't far away from trying a second shot.
Julie, if you're Herman, where are you going?
Herman, I think he's going to play forehand. He's just got to go past his bowl, where he may even look to come under that and sort of sit the blue bowl of Jacky's. He's just a little bit light on weight here.
He's going to drop short. Gets a little slide, yep. Still 1 to Australia. It's interesting you see the position where directors take, and you've got Geoffrey Newcombe in front of Herman Scholtz here, and he gets his feet out of the way the last second, and I've not seen it yet, a bowl go into the director's feet, but you've got to be very quick on your reflexes, don't you? Because especially if it's a drive.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, different directors have different ways of doing things. I think it just depends on what the vision issues they have and what works best for the player.
Jake wanting to get another one in here. That bowl of Jacky's looking a bit vulnerable.
Well, he's close. He just slides underneath and lands on that red bowl of South Africa. So Herman Scholtz with 1 more to come to try and rectify the situation. It's 1 to Australia currently, which would give them the lead. The first time in this match, but Herman Scholtz, if he has anything to say about it.
Can afford to give it a good chance down there, promote his own short bowl, or like Julie said, sit the blue bowl out.
There's a little bit of weight there, more so than what we've seen.
I think that just came out the side of his hand a little bit, that one.
Yep. So 1 to Australia. They take the lead in this final. 3-2 after 3. Couple of multiples conceded early, but we're into the singles now, and a nice little start for Jake and Jacky to get themselves in front in this contest. Just that little psychological edge to say that you have had the lead. They've got a little foothold in this match, Julie, and they'd be feeling confident.
Yeah, that's good. Good early on to be able to just have that ascendancy, to be able to get on top of them and hope they can just continue this. It's been very tight bowls the last few ends.
Well, South Africa have had the upper hand throughout this event because they finished on top of their section with 4 wins and the 1 loss, beating Australia throughout their throughout their round games, Australia finished second with 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. So
that draw almost brought them unstuck, but they ended up getting through. And yeah, Scotland, I think, were the ones that knocked off the South Africans.
You see Jacky and Robert there having a big discussion. You've just got to have full trust in each other, haven't you?
100%. 100%.
You wouldn't want to have an argument the night before at home, would you?
Could you imagine that? Never go to bed angry as a director. They say that anyway, but certainly not. Or a brother's spat between Jake and Cody. Jacky a little bit underneath there. But Brett, you've played a World Bowls Championships on home soil in Adelaide 2012. We spoke about it as part of the 10-year anniversary at the end of last year. Winning a gold medal on home soil, how special is that?
Oh, it was very special. I know we were playing with Wayne Rudiger, who was in his hometown in Adelaide, and the hometown crowd really came out to support us, especially in our fours final. It was electric, and it just helps in knowing, you know, you've got the full support and great backing of the crowd, and to do it on a home soil was amazing memories.
And then 4 years later, you did it in Christchurch with a man named Disco. He didn't get his shirt off that day, but are we expecting to see something from him today if he does do it again?
Yeah, well, it'd be great to see him go back-to-back today. He's had an amazing sort of run since then with Commonwealth Games and 2 Commonwealth Games since then, so it's great that we're back here at the World Championships and he's back in the final, hoping to go back-to-back.
Would be quite remarkable. Be a 2-time Commonwealth Games champion and a 2-time world champion. Now, it's a pretty lonely club for you to be in, the only male Jackaroo to win 2 gold medals, Brett. So are you hoping to welcome one more of them into the club?
Oh, well, we're hoping to welcome a couple more today. So
yes.
Aaron Sheriff has got an opportunity as well in the triples. So hopefully there's a few of us by the end of the day.
Fingers crossed, and even the end of the tournament as well. Right here, couple passed here or one passed for Jacky and one pass for May. South Africa holding sway at the moment. Australia holding sway on the scoreboard, 3-2. This one is going to drop underneath that front bowl of Jacky Hudson.
Yeah, just a bit longer length, this one, than what we played last time in this direction. Just throwing them both off at the moment.
How much of a tactic would this be for Australia, just to try and utilise those long lengths, Julie?
Yes, I think, you know, it's a good idea early on, and if it's just worked for you, I think you've got to replicate that. Jacky just looking for a bit of correction there, just sort of in between both her bowls, and she's not looking too bad here.
It's a good line. It needs to get down, and I reckon it will.
Great correction.
Jacky Hudson.
Great shot.
Sensational. And it could be a couple of ends in a row if May Homer can't do anything about it. But Jacky Hudson has the better of her. Would be quite remarkable.
Last opportunity now for May on the forehand.
As the wind really picks up.
That wind really has plays havoc with your mind. Not a mile away here.
May Homer, I think it's just going to drop underneath. We had a perfect view of that arc of the bowl.
Yeah, I think she just felt that wind get up, and she bowled it a little bit tighter and quicker to allow for the wind, but it's just pushed through it.
So, Australia, as Jacky's bowl has just fallen. It's been sitting up for about 3 minutes, and all of a sudden it's gone down, so it'll be a lot harder to move.
Well, opportunity now for Jake to put the pressure on.
Yep. It's a really, really good opportunity, as you said, Brett, because to take a lead by a couple, if they can, goes a long way in the psychological battle. But South Africa were down 6-0 against England in the semi-final yesterday. Came back and stormed home did the Homer-Scholtz combination.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot of experience, so those sort of things they would have been involved in before, so they'll have the confidence to come back.
They will.
Fantastic bowl by Jake, and a toucher.
And it falls into Jacky Fehlberg, asserting his authority here. He wants this tournament. Won the Commonwealth Games gold at 24 years old.
That bowl does come very close to the feet of the director there. He just has to jump out of the way so quickly.
He's close here. Oh, what a great shot.
Herman Scholtz, brilliantly done. Sits the bowl, nudges the jack, stays, and that's one.
Played perfect weight, just gave him a good chance to sit the bowl or trail of the jack. As we see a replay there of Jacky Fehlberg's brilliant draw bowl.
It's no longer sitting there.
Well, I think Jake can play something similar to Herman here. Sit the bowl, trail a jack. Just needs to give that little bit of a chance.
Just going to come underneath. So he's got one more in the artillery here, Jacky Fehlberg. Herman Scholtz now, the man that wants to apply some pressure on this head.
Yeah, well, he needs to go back to the draw now. He's played the good conversion shot. Needs to give it a friend now.
So in the women's fours, Kelsey Cottrell's just played a bomb. I'm not sure what the score is. Right here, Herman Scholtz, he's not a mile away.
Needs to be careful.
Yep, oh, he's got it out towards May Homer's earlier bowl.
He's made two.
Yep, so just forcing another change of hand here, Julie, for Jacky Fehlberg, and I like this. He's coming up to inspect the head with his brother Cody.
Yeah, that's good. Very good move from Jake. He's got a little bit more room to work with down there now, so he's just weighing up his options.
He's a little bit fortunate there. He's trailed the jack for two shots and put it in a pretty good position for himself, Herman, but he could have been unlucky there. If he back cut the jack, he could have nearly given Australia two shots. Yeah. So has made it better, but
you never know.
Could have gone foul as well.
We saw that yesterday in the women's para pairs. Happened to Serena Bonnell a couple of times where just some awry jack movement that she didn't want cost her and Cheryl Linfield dearly. They dropped a 4 early on, and from there on in it was pretty difficult. And then Scotland got a couple of nudges at the jack and it went right.
Yeah, it just changed the game.
So it's interesting here because Jake has had to play 3 sort of different shots, 3 different weights. And it's not easy when you continue to sort of pepper like that.
It's not easy to get to where they are because they've got to consider those front bowls up there on the forehand. Yep. So they can come around them and draw the shot, or he can change to the backhand. So I think at the moment it's what he's confident with what hand he believes he can play the best bowl.
Would you be just sticking to what he's been doing the last couple?
Well, the front bowls could play a part because it is playing a little bit tighter on that hand with the wind holding the bowls out, so there isn't a lot of turn there. So that may be what he's weighing up. He could play the backhand and just look to sort of promote his own or just slip past his own there with probably a couple of yards of weight.
Yeah, he's opted for the backhand.
So he's changing.
He's trying to draw, I think.
Jacky Fehlberg, just quick. Good try.
Well, opportunity for Herman now. Got a little bit of room to make 3. He just needs exactly the same bowl, really. He's staying on the forehand.
Herman Scholtz to make a 3rd and to really apply the pressure on the Australians here. He's not on a bad... Oh no, that's... I thought it might have been coming around the way. It was just too quick. The line, not bad in the end. The weight just overdone. So to be 2 and South Africa retake the lead.
Yeah, well, we've seen some great bowls there from both teams that end. Sign of things to come.
Best end of the match so far. So we are 4 down, 11 to go. 2 to South Africa. Absolutely fantastic end there, Julie. South Africa really, you know, bowl for bowl, it was great, and Herman Scholtz was sensational.
Yes, he came out with the big one when it was definitely needed. And Australia were holding 2 very good shots there.
Very long length here. Matt right back, and Jack sitting right in front of us on the tee.
Yeah, this will definitely be a tester, this one, because there's not a lot of room between the jack and the ditch, and with this wind and the pace, it could roll on.
Of course, a big thank you to all of our ITOs and volunteers and markers at these World Bowls Championships. It's been fantastic to have them all as part of our competition. A wonderful, tireless work that they do. They're here well before the players, and they're here well after them.
Yeah, they're here early this morning timing the green at different areas of the green. They did both rinks here and also in between, and then they go away and average the pace out. I believe it was 14.5 at that stage, but we'll be running a little bit quicker at the moment and speed up a little bit throughout the day.
So, Jacky Hudson just going past, but that is a very, very good home if it stays up, and it does.
Yeah, about 18 inches from the ditch.
Women's fours, they've played 4 ends as well.
England currently leading 4-2.
Yes, Kelsey Cottrell played a bomb to rectify the situation. It was 4-0, and they were down in the head, so that's the big roar that you heard before. Some great lineups across the finals of the World Bowls Championships in 2023 so far anyway. This one right here, Australia versus Ireland in the men's pairs final. New Zealand, Scotland para women's pairs coming up after this right here. And then men's triples, which the 3 of us have the privilege of sitting alongside. Wedlock, Sheriff and Healy against Foster, Oliver and Alex Marshall. That last guy, he goes all right.
Yeah, mouth-watering finish to the day. It's going to be an exciting game, that one.
Jacky Hudson going to get one in.
Speed looks very good.
Does. Needs to get down. And as she did
That's a wonderful bowl.
before, that is a wonderful bowl, but rinse and repeat. I think the last end in this direction, it was her bowl that ended up with as the shot. Brilliantly done from Jacky Hudson. As she did.
Jacky's first bowl's looking like a very good bowl now in the position that it's in, because I dare say that South Africa will be looking to sort of play a little bit of weight to this head. Not losing your bowl, but just trying to finish in good position if you miss.
Gone Gone underneath, so an opportunity here for Jacky to put a stranglehold on this end for Australia. What has she got? As you see, the different style of the director, Robert, as opposed to Geoffrey Newcombe, doesn't stand directly in front of her, just puts his foot out to sort of indicate things. Moves his foot out quickly too, good reflexes. As the wind swirls, Jacky moves past. Will it stay up? No.
Wind just pushed her a little bit there, I think.
It's playing tricks on them out there. What was the key for you guys when conditions were like this in terms of the wind? How would you adapt?
I'd normally play the wider side because playing the tight side, you know, the wind does sort of play tricks with your bowls and holds them up on the bias. So, you know, if you've got something, you know, a windy condition, so let the wind sort of do the work and just, you know, like I said, pick a nice line and just, you know, and wait, and then don't try and change too much. Just, you know, believe what you see.
I think it's not letting it get to you. If the bowl does go for a wander after you've let it go, there's not much you can do about it. So as long as you don't get too frustrated when those times happen.
I was talking with Barry Lester yesterday on the live stream, and never play a bowl angry. That's one of the keys for him, as Herman Scholtz not a mile away, and I reckon he's got the shot. He has. Another brilliant bowl
perfect
by
weight
him.
there. He just had enough to rest off the bowl.
He's having a good game so far. He's the South African skip.
Yeah, he's played some clutched bowls so far under pressure, hasn't he?
Certainly has. Was down in the last end as well. 63 years old is Herman Scholtz.
Well, Jake can just afford to give it a little bit of a chance here. He's got a couple of bowls waiting for the jack. If he can trail it back, he'll sit the bowl through.
Trying very hard here.
Absolutely
brilliant
Jake
from Jake
Fehlberg. How good is that? And from one down, 3 up. Monumental.
Yeah, perfect weight. Just gave her that nice chance. Put into a pretty hard position too for Herman to get to. He's got to get around the front bowls if he's trying to draw on the backhand. Otherwise, he's got to get through his own bowls on the forehand through the gap.
Looks like he's shaping up on the backhand. Probably just got to add about a yard of weight to his last bowl. Similar sort of line. Just trying to probably cut back, get second shot. That's what you'd be aiming for.
Yeah, even second shot's good in this stage of the end. Not quite the weight, so he's still probably a metre short.
Might have, yeah, needed to just get a little bit more.
Still 3, I think.
So I did mention that Jake was looking to become the first player to do the Commonwealth and World double. Well, Herman Scholtz actually is too. 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist in Glasgow in the mixed parasport pairs.
Had a good line there, Jake, just didn't quite have the weight. So Herman coming up to have a look at it now. It's always good in these sort of situations to come and have a look, see exactly what the layout of the head is.
Yep. Well, if he can't do anything here, the Australians will be taking the lead yet again, and with leaving Jake an opportunity to possibly put in a fourth. So this is a really good move from Herman Scholtz.
Yes, well, sometimes those bowls that he's looking at there can look a lot closer from the other end than what they actually are, but there's actually probably about 4 feet, you know, to get second shot. And what he's indicating there is just draw around that bowl, try and get second shot.
Great camaraderie between Jake and Jacky there. Big high five. as they trundle their way back down.
He wasn't a mile away with his his second bowl, Herman, so he probably needs about 3 feet of weight. Even a couple of feet might cut a few shots out, but 3 feet will get him the shot, Nelly. But as Julie said, even second shot, it's pretty good in this point of the end stage of the game.
Good that Jake's come down as well. He can have a look what he has to do after Herman plays his bowl.
So Herman Scholtz to make a recovery. They're 3 down. Geoffrey Newcombe does a little boogie and moves out of the way. What has Herman Scholtz got here?
Come on, Herman, find it clean. Find it clean.
Got the jack, but moved it right towards Jake Fehlberg's. It does sit in the ditch though, so I reckon it sits as second. 1 and a measure indicated by our marker.
It's very close for second shot.
So as you can see on the replay there, it's just gone into the belly of Jake Fehlberg's bowl at the back there. I think it was Jacky Hudson's.
Yeah, it was a great shot. If he got a little bit more of that, Jack, he was following it straight into the ditch. So he's a little bit of fortune there for the Australians.
So measure for 2. Not sure who I'm favouring more. Still might be 2 to the Australians, but
I think I'm slightly favouring 2 to the Australians.
yep. Our marker just looking over and shrugging her shoulders a little bit there, Vicky. So Jake Fehlberg, an opportunity to definitely make it 2, possibly a 3rd here. This is a really big bowl in the context of this one. Almost a 1/3 of the way through.
His line was good with his last, so he just needs to correct his weight on the backhand again. These are always the important ones. When you've got the last bowl, you've got an opportunity to add. Can make a big difference at the end of the game.
Fehlberg. Unfortunately for the Aussies, that's going to trundle into the ditch, so we are going to get a measure here. So 1 definitely to Australia. Is it a second though?
It's always different when you've got to measure the bowl in the ditch because you've got to measure up and over that ditch area.
Exactly. So it makes it a little bit longer, doesn't it?
Yes, it definitely does.
So I reckon that's why we could be seeing a 2 to the Australians, which would give them the lead back, but angles can be deceiving, as I have found out from doing a fair few of these games. I've gone the early crow and been completely and utterly wrong. Let's see.
You mentioned the ITOs earlier, Val. I think there's about 50 ITOs from all around the world that are here for this 2-week carnival.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? They do a great job. So that is 2. Australia. Sensational from Jake Fehlberg. A great effort from Herman Scholtz to cut it down and almost draw the shot for himself and trail the jack into the ditch. Didn't do so. But Australia regain the ascendancy here. They lead at 5-4, and we're a 1/3 of the way through this contest here at Club Helensvale. Brett, this is your home club. What a club it is. This new roof in the centre of it on green 2. How good does that look? Yeah,
it's looking amazing at the moment, and a brand new green has just been laid, and the reports at the moment have all been really good. That the surface has come up a treat, so looking forward to getting the opportunity to play some bowls on that in the future.
So when do they expect that to be finished?
The green's already finished, but the clubhouse, they're looking at the end of the year, so I think they're having an opening following the World Championships. They'll be opening the green and start using it, but the actual clubhouse, double-storey clubhouse, will be a function room, and also a bowler's lounge will be sort of open around the end of the year.
How good does it look, though? You can see just the structure and how it's looking, and the roof, the canopy over that second green. Looks amazing, and it was all hollow when I was up here in June for the Australian Open, and it's all finished. It's gone up very quickly.
Quite a fair bit of dirt came out from that area. Max have done a great job of the roof.
Really have. Max, great partner of Bowls Australia.
It doesn't seem to have had much effect on the other greens as yet, or does it create shadows in the afternoon?
A little bit, but I think it's been okay at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose that's something that you do have to think about. You know, shadows can have a different effect on the grass and how greens play at certain times of the day.
It affects the growing of it as well too at different times. So it'll just be interesting during the warmer months when the grass is growing.
That's a
doesn't grow quite so much at the moment, but a bit dormant during the winter.
That's a Nathan Rice problem.
Yeah, Nathan Rice, greenkeeper here at Club Helensvale. He's been here since 2002, so he's been a long-standing greener, probably one of the longest-serving staff members here at the club now, I think. So does a great job on the greens, along with Luke Wade, who's the head greenkeeper.
Still doing a great job on the greens by rolling them and also performing on them, Nathan Rice. Still a very, very handy bowler, the former Jackaroo, your former Australian teammate Brett, as May Homer puts one pretty close.
Yeah, great shot there from May.
So what have you made from this one so far? Third of the way through, Australia leading 5-4. They've started well. South Africa have been very, very good as well. What have you liked from both of them, Julie?
There's nothing in it. I just think there's been some telling bowls from both skips, you know, on a number of ends that, so, you know, had they have missed a couple of those conversion shots, you know, the score could be completely different. But as it stands, there's absolutely nothing in this game.
Great shot.
Jacky Hudson, the crowd certainly appreciating that one.
Just got a nice little edge there. It was going to be a good bowl anyway, but just guided her onto the jack. So. And got the jack a little bit further away from May's bowl, which worked out well for her as well.
Got the little slide off, did Jacky Hudson. Little stretch as well. It's great to see on the caps there, guys, the 30p. And they have a para number as well as the Open Jackaroos getting their number when they make their international debut. Para bowler number 30 is Jacky Hudson.
So Jake would be a very low number, would he?
I believe so. I think Jimmy Reynolds is number, I think he's number 6. He was very early on. Jake wouldn't be, we'll have a look when he comes down.
Come on, mate.
May Homer. Brilliantly done. Hasn't gone into the ditch. Stayed up. And May has gone along with it. Still plenty of room here for Jacky, though. Just a change of weight.
Probably looking at changing hands down here. He's just saying probably have to come down on the backhand.
More obstacles now in front. What a bowl from May Homer.
Opting to stay on the forehand. Just skim those front bowls.
In the women's fours, Australia have taken the lead 6-4. Lindsay Clark in her last tournament. Will she go home as a world champion? Jacky Hudson not a mile away here.
She's
Jacky Hudson. Jack, belly, ditch. And a little dance as well.
A little jig.
How good was that from Jacky Hudson?
Be unbeatable, that bowl. I think she's sitting right on it.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate. I don't think she was trying to do that, but yeah, came up with the trumps.
Better than short.
Yeah,
Exactly right.
A chance.
Give it a chance. And she hit it belly. And you can see the markers there on the ditch. Absolutely monumental.
Yeah, I don't think she can draw that. Their only way of getting shot would be probably to promote the toucher. May's second bowl, that toucher, into the ditch, but not an easy feat trying to get it from a fairway up the green into the ditch. So I think she'll be just trying to get a a good close second shot.
So this just makes things all the more difficult for South Africa, because it'd have to be, as you said, almost hanging half off. But
For any of our non-bowlers watching, when the bowl touches the jack, they do get marked with a toucher, and those bowls can remain in the ditch. So if your bowl hasn't touched the jack before it goes into the ditch, it will be a dead bowl and removed from the ditch. So she just got to try and get as close to the edge of the green as she can without falling in.
which is not easy, but we do love a good exhibition of drawing to the ditch. We've seen it in a lot of big matches before. Let's see what May Homer and Herman Scholtz can do, and if Jake Fehlberg can possibly add in some more.
It is quite an art drawing to the ditch. It's not an easy thing.
Certainly not, and you always get it when you're not trying to. So, the skips make the change. Jacky Hudson with the bowl of the match so far. Her second two bowls were absolutely magnificent. Sliding off and challenged by May Homer. But she says, anything you can do, I can do better. And the jig was even better.
Yeah, they both had a good tussle that end.
Amazing from Jacky Hudson. So, time for Jake Fehlberg and Cody to step up. Brothers in arms. Herman Scholtz and Geoffrey Newcombe. Gold medal on the line.
You see a replay here from Jacky Hudson down on the forehand. Currently one down, looking to try and get a touch up. And what a shot. Trails the jack straight into the ditch and pretty well set right on top. Jake Fehlberg now on the backhand, just trying to make it two. Just needs to stop, I think.
Is it going to stop? I think it is. It has.
Oh, what a shot.
There you go. Drawing to the ditch, specialist.
Absolutely magnificent. So Jake Fehlberg, he's gone very close. Now, what will Herman Scholtz have to do? He's going to have to try and get rid of this bowl and maybe stay.
Yeah, the perfect bowl would be just to roll it in and stay yourself. So just to probably needs a foot to 2 foot of weight. Try and sit the bowl into the ditch and stay up yourself.
Good thing is he's going to have 3 goes at it. It's coming, but it's going to go into the ditch.
A bit wide, but great attempt.
Lovely try, man.
His weight may have been enough to stay, but he would have needed to get it really full in the middle of the bowl.
Jake looking to add another one now. If he can add another one, that really puts the pressure on.
100%. Doesn't want to create too much of a target though, so let's see what Jake Fehlberg can do. Tell you what, his weight might not be too bad.
Just needs to slip that bowl.
And I reckon that might do. Not sure. The marker holds up 3. So he has got it in to count, but a bit of room for Herman Scholtz, the 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist. His weight's all right. Herman Scholtz.
It's good enough for third shot, I think.
Yep.
So it's cut one out.
So Jake.
That's a good bowl from Herman, just cutting one out of the head.
And gives him knowledge on how to correct for his last. He's gotten better and better throughout this end for his 2 bowls. So Jake Fehlberg with number 3. Can he pop in a third for Australia?
Very good line.
Jake Fehlberg. Does it stop? It does.
Amazing bowl.
It stopped right on top of his other one.
World-class bowling there from Jake Fehlberg. Magnificent pair.
A magician.
I would suggest we might see some weight here from Herman. You can't outdraw those 2 bowls.
We're just saying how hard it is to draw to the ditch, and Jake's just made it look easy.
in these conditions, that's absolutely unbelievable.
And with limited vision. Just
Magnificent.
unbelievable. Jake Fehlberg, you start. So Herman Scholtz needs to hit these. But I reckon he's on a pretty wide line and needs to get down. Does he have enough? Herman Scholtz. That's going to pull up short. And not a bad effort.
Yeah, his line was good.
But Australia, well, we talked about that number 7. They've eclipsed it.
Yeah,
They
that was
lead
their
it.
first goal.
They lead it 8-4 after 6.
Truly amazing bowls there from Jake. So close to the ditch. Not an easy thing to do at any stage of the game, let alone playing in a final of the World Championships.
Well, we said how hard it was to draw to the ditch, and you're right, made it look so easy.
Australia will be just looking to consolidate on that good end. You want to, back it up.
Yeah, well, it's given him a little bit of a break now. 4-shot puffer.
Next door, Australia and England, after being 4-0 down, the Aussies have scored 6 shots on the bounce. Lead at 6-4 after 6. Could we be in for the perfect morning, and could Lindsay Clark's fairy tale be complete? You two have had a lot to do with Linny over her career, and talk to us a little bit about her and what has made her such a superstar, not just on the green but off it.
Oh, Lindsay's just a person that you just cannot love. She's just, wonderful on and off the green. She's a very good friend of mine. And Brett's, she's just a wonderful person to be around, a great ambassador for Australia for many, many years, and her state of Queensland. She's just an inspiring person to play alongside and, having your team.
Yeah, she's always a pleasure to be around and play with, and she's now passing on her knowledge as the Pathways coach here in Queensland, for working for Bowls Australia with all the new talent coming through. So really fortunate for those young ones coming through to have her guiding them along.
There is a hell of a lot of talent coming through, and Lindsay Clark, well, you wouldn't want anybody else as your coach. She's just such a bubbly personality, and I don't think I've ever seen her without a smile on her face. Just always positive, always energetic, and getting to know her through media commitments and the right line and all of that sort of stuff, and being on tour with her. She's absolutely brilliant, both on and off the green. Very dedicated to her craft. What a story it would be to see her go out with a 3rd on green World Bowls Championship title to go with that of 2008 and 2012.
Yeah, I'm sure her teammates are all sort of wanting that for her as well. They want to send her out on a high.
Gets the monkey off the back for next week as well. The fact that she's already got one, not relying on the triples to try and get it over the line.
Yeah, that's right. She'd love to go to the double, but ideally one would be just fantastic.
And of course, the narrative's over there. Kelsey Cottrell took a year off from playing duties with her little one Ava, and Dawn Heyman in her maiden international major championship. Christina Christic, of course, we know what she does. She's an absolute star. Led beautifully yesterday.
Yeah, it's just a perfect combo they've got going over there. It's all 4 of those girls over there are all skips, but the combination has just gelled perfectly.
After 7 ends, Australia lead 6 shots to 5.
So, Jacky Hudson right here, though. She's having some sort of a match. She has lifted, and she's absolutely loving her time out there, which is exactly what you want to see. That little jig before just gives you a sign of who she is and the body language. She is relishing this opportunity.
Yeah, I think she just got through the nerves of the first sort of couple of ends, which can always be the case, but she's a perfect line this end, just a little bit quick.
Yeah, she's really settling in very, very well. The last few ends, and she's been had the dominance over the lead position.
Yeah, May there just overcorrecting. She was a little bit through with the first. Just tried to take that bit of weight off. Didn't quite make it, so it looks like it's still 1 shot to Australia.
What a beautiful day here in Queensland. Aside from the wind, there's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, it's perfect conditions here on the Gold Coast. It's just It's a great place to be up here in Queensland, the perfect host for the event.
Certainly
19 degrees currently at the moment, expecting a top of 22.
Feels warmer than 19. Jacky Hudson. She is lifting even more.
She's put it into a perfect position. Just nice weighted bowl back to her own.
Early on, it was May Homer holding sway in this lead battle, but the front end pressure being well and truly applied by the Fingal Bay product of Jacky Hudson and her husband and director, Rob.
Perfect little trail there.
No real target either. You know, it's very hard for South Africa to get in here. They're probably just looking at trying to get a close bowl at the moment.
Yeah, she does have one at the back as well, May, so that's in a handy spot if they do happen to trail a jack. It's probably about 5-6 feet past at the moment. But yeah, as you say, Julie, I think they need one close, and then Herman will be looking to try and trail a jack back further with one of his 3 bowls.
Oh, he's played some great conversions, so I'd sort of back him in to be not too far away from doing it.
May Homer, what can she do? She's not a world away here. May Homer, is she going to drop underneath, or is she going to edge the jack? She is, and she's going to follow it.
That
3 down, 1 up.
Perfect bowl, perfect bowl.
Great bowls there from both the leads. She just hung up enough for shot. 3 down to 1 up. So he just turned just nicely enough to get the jack back.
Beautifully done from May Homer.
Jake just looking now whether he tries to play through their own blue bowls, trying to promote one of those or get an edge off. Well, they do have an open draw on the forehand, but it does have a few options on the backhand if he gives it a chance. Through Jacky Hudson's bowls there.
After 3 very good bowls there from Jacky, unfortunately they don't have a back bowl now with that trail.
Yeah, that's why I think he might just give it a chance down there on the backhand, promote one of their own bowls, or just get the edge, get the jack, sit the bowl. If he misses, he can just finish past in a good home if he has good weight.
Yes, I think definitely that's the best option. He's got a few things going for him on that hand. Oh, nice weight.
Not bad at all from Jake Fehlberg. Gets a little edge, but it goes too far. Rob Hudson saying that was good. Like the idea.
Yeah, he gave it every chance.
Yep, that's exactly what you alluded to, Brett. Just give it a chance, be in the area. He's got 2 more to correct and try and rectify the situation from that piece of May Homer brilliance.
Yeah, he's got a bowl pass now in a good position. Still got at least 2 seconds. So Herman will probably got about 3 feet to try and draw a second shot here. Open draw on the forehand.
So Herman just goes around the back. 6 ends played, 9 to go. Of course, if the margin extends beyond that 6 with an end to play, then we won't play that end. Ends are only played if it's mathematically possible for both teams to win.
He's going to play something similar weight here, just tighten it up a little bit. Play through their own again, or slip under and sit the shot bowl.
Jake Fehlberg. Just going to troll through to where that Herman Scholtz bowl is. So they've got the tee, worst case scenario.
Real opportunity here for Herman to put the pressure on Jake. A multiple here would help keep them in touch.
Certainly would. They were down 6-0 against England yesterday in the semi-finals. Things were looking like the English might be on their way through to this deciding match, but the quality of Herman and May themselves through.
Just overcorrected a little bit there, Herman, but it's probably given Jake something to think about because it's sort of right in the area where he was looking to come through with his last bowl. So they may look to change hands and just draw the shot here, sit or trail.
Opting to come and have a look.
Yeah,
Very
I think
good
it's
idea.
best.
Yep.
The angles have all changed now, so best to come and have a look, see what the options are, where the best percentages are.
He may still be able to slip under that bowl as a guide and land the shot bowl, but whatever you're feeling comfortable with, really.
Yeah, it's taken the option away of promoting their own bowl, unless he gets the red onto the blue, which is possible. I think it's, you know, it looks pretty good there on the forehand. Any toucher would make two, but in saying that, like you say, Julie has played 2 bowls on the backhand, so he may be more confident playing down there. It's just finding that happy sort of medium between what you're confident in playing and what the head presents itself as the best option.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's got to play the perfect bowl between these bowls at the front on the backhand, but he has played both his bowls on that hand, so he may feel more comfortable doing that.
Looks like he's lining up on the backhand. Sneak under that last bowl of Herman's.
Almost doing it. Has he got a little result? No.
Just got a little bit too much of a rub off that front bowl.
Jeez, wasn't a bad effort, but
wasn't far off the mark.
No. Stayed on that backhand like you alluded to, Brett and Julie.
A little bit finer slide off that bowl, and he had to angle right into take the bowl's place, but wasn't far away.
So still 1 to South Africa with Herman Scholtz, an opportunity to get a second here and give South Africa some touching distance.
Yeah, just a draw shot. He's already played 2 bowls on the forehand, so he should have a fair idea of the line. Just needs to adjust his weight from the first 2.
He's got just over 2 feet to make another counter. He's probably looking at just beating that jack high bowl, and then you're not too far away.
Herman Scholtz. They're 1 up, which on current score would get them to within 3. But if he adds in another, game on. Geoffrey Newcombe hops out the way. Herman Scholtz. They want it to slow down. Paul Homer was telling it to slow down. It won't.
Had a good line, he did, but not quite the weight.
Well, in the end, it was May Homer after a bomb from Jacky Hudson that did the damage. Jake Fehlberg did his utmost to try and rectify the situation. Couldn't do so. And it's an 8-5 lead as we edge towards the halfway point of this contest. Australia lead it. Jake Fehlberg and Jacky Hudson with their directors Cody Fehlberg and Robert Hudson holding sway at the moment. But Herman Scholtz and May Homer, as well as Paul Homer and Geoffrey Newcombe, they will fight until the very end.
Yeah, as you said earlier, a lot of experience with this South African team, so they won't be fazed by being a few shots down. They've been there before and bounced back, so they'll still be confident to work their way back into the game.
So the jack just being rolled out of bounds, so that means Australia gets to re-roll the jack and pick their length.
They do. So the first lost jack of the day. We usually like to count those as the days grow longer, because the greens do speed up a little bit. But Australia, they like the fact that they can control the length here. Wasn't much of a change to where the map was though, Julie.
No, just gone back slightly and probably just opt to go slightly longer. Australia seem to be scoring more on the longer ends. Must be their preferred length.
It's a big strength of the Australians to have these longer lengths that they can score on. It's all about feel, isn't it, and touch.
Yes, definitely, and it's just something that the Jackaroos train for all the time, you know, with their training drills. And, you know, they train with the maximum and minimum lengths all the time, and, you know, that's part of their drills that they do week on week.
So, May Homer. Played a ripper in the last end.
Two in the dash.
Now it's time for Jacky Hudson. What a beautiful morning. The wind has died down, and now that I say that, you watch, Julie. It's going to pick up again.
Yeah, it's always the case, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
It's actually, the temperature's beautiful now, and the wind definitely has dropped, making the conditions a little bit easier for the players.
So, the backhand for Jacky Hudson.
Different hand for Jacky. She has been playing the forehand going down there, but has opted for a change with May's bowl possibly being in the way. See the score over there with the Australian ladies fours against England is now 6-all on 8 ends.
Very, very tight. Very tight. Both of these finals, 8-5 and 6-all. We are poised for a grandstand finish, and the grandstands will start packing as the day grows longer. Of course, Aaron Wilson and Aaron Tees up against Adam McEwen and Gary Kelly in the men's pairs final after the women's fours. After this, the para-women's pairs final between Scotland and New Zealand. And then men's triples between Australia and Scotland on this very rink at the end of the day's play.
It's a funny little thing, 3 Aarons in the Australian side, isn't it?
I know. Well, you'd have to change your name, wouldn't you? If
you want to make the team, maybe
exactly.
Aaron.
I might change my name. Doesn't matter how I spell it either, because there's 2 with a double A and then Aaron Sheriff, just the one.
That's right.
So, it doesn't matter if your name's Aaron, you're going to be pretty good at bowls, it seems. But if your names are Corey and Carl, you've got a pretty good pedigree as well.
Exactly.
So Jacky just motoring along.
Pace of the green will be definitely quickening up now, and it will get quicker and quicker as the day goes on, drying out.
Certainly will, and the wind, as I said, has picked up, of course. So May Homer, she's holding sway in this end, really owned end number 7 with that bomb. She was down 3, went 1 up. The English contingent here, they're pretty vocal.
Yeah, the English are very vocal. Sitting directly behind the ring.
Felt a bit like the Australian team at the Com Games last year. It's that little pocket that was very, very loud.
The Australian supporters have had to spread their support here with 2 teams playing on the same green. Made it a little bit hard. wind just pushing that bowl out. You can just see that last bowl of May's just going out of bounds. That's how strong the wind is at the moment. You can see the flags flying on top of the grandstand.
See Teresa Armitage, Lindsay's mum, walking around in full Australian kit. It's so good. One of the biggest supporters of the Aussie team.
Always a very vocal supporter.
She certainly is. Lovely lady. Is Teresa. Now, Jacky Hudson. Oh, as Barry Lester calls it, that's the boss.
Yes, that definitely is. That's a great correction there from Jacky.
So,
A little pat on the back there from husband.
love it. But
Let's look for the high fives on the way past here.
Come on. Oh, they kind of missed. It was half there, but I think it all concentrated. It's not like they haven't been doing it the whole game. It's only just when we pointed out that it doesn't happen. But it's been the tail of the tape, really, the last two ends. May Homer with her last bowl, stole shot. Jacky Hudson with her last bowl now has stolen shot. So this lead battle is really interesting and intriguing because they keep going bowl for bowl and end for end.
Very good tussle.
What has the 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist got?
His weight's fairly good there.
So Australia will they'll see these next couple of ends as an opportunity now to put a stranglehold on this competition or on this match. After this, we've ticked over the halfway point. If Australia win it, they're going to lead it by at least 4. That'll give them the world of confidence as we round the bend into the second half of this match.
Yeah, that's right. A multiple here will give them a pretty good, handy lead.
Almost break it open. It's always that little psychological edge when you're leading at the halfway point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He's coming in here nicely. Very good home as well. Cover and count. Just a handy spot in case the South African skip trails the jack there.
To the Aussies, Herman Scholtz.
We had good weight with his first bowl, Herman, so just needs to correct his line. Same weight will put him in the area. Playing the forehand again. It's a mighty attempt. Finished in a pretty good home. Not too far out of it. Still 2 shots to the Australians though, so opportunity now for Jake Fehlberg. Similar sort of bowl to his last. Finish in a similar spot would be handy, otherwise if he drops a couple of feet, it would be even better.
So, Jake Fehlberg, big opportunity here to really apply some pressure. He puts in a third here. Don't think he's too happy with it though.
His body language shows that he could be a bit short.
Yeah, and the line was, it was almost, well,
it's a great bowl.
I don't know why he turned his back. He wasn't happy at all, but
it's a counter.
That's the second of the 3, so.
Bit of a smile on his face now, I think he...
Yeah. He did not realise how well that got away, and I thought, hang on, no, this looks okay, and he's turned around and gone, nah, don't like it.
I think the wind died down as well, so if there was a bit of breeze, it may have pulled it up short, but...
All right, now Herman Scholtz, this is a huge recovery bowl here. They're down 3. If he doesn't make it here, then, well, an opportunity for Jake Fehlberg to put in a 4th, and Herman, he's going past. Is he going to stay? No. Opportunity for the Aussies. Now this could be the straw that maybe breaks the camel's back. Who knows?
Oh, this is massive. This is the ones that you really want to count.
Yeah, he's already played 2 good shots, so just needs to replicate it again.
They're holding 3. This to score a
very nicely.
4. He's looking. The monocular is out. that famous trademark monocular. Jake Fehlberg. You can hear Alan Faulkner cheering from the sidelines. And Jake Fehlberg has put in the best of the lot.
3 rippers there from Jake.
4 to Australia.
That's a massive end in the scheme of the match here.
Lead battle won by Jacky Hudson. Lead determines who wins the end. The skipper by how much? 3 sensational bowls from Jake Fehlberg.
Yeah,
they lead by 7, Brett Wilkie.
Very consistent bowling there from Jake. 3 great shots. As you said, all set up by Jacky. Just had the shot on the crossover. Biggest margin of the game now, so it's...
And more importantly, it's above that 6-shot margin. So if they can maintain this lead, they might be done in earlier than 15 ends, who knows? Are we going to lose a jack? Yeah, that's gone into the ditch, so we'll get it re-rolled.
Yeah, the opposition just getting an opportunity to roll their length now. Those non-bowlers watching, they can now move the mat. They can put it in a different spot and then roll the jack to their liking. We've chosen to take it sort of a fair way back, nearly back to the end of the 2-metre mark.
2 ends in a row now that we've lost the jack. So bit of a collective groan on the rink next door with England and Australia. I think Kelsey's gone for a big drive. She's missed. I'm not sure what the score is. England score a 3 and take a 9-6 lead. Wow.
Yeah, after 9 ends over there at the moment, the women's 4s. A lot of exciting heads happening there at the moment. A lot of tight, close, good bowling.
As women's 4s, well, Lindsay said that she reckons she'd aged about 40 years in that women's 4s semi-final against Scotland yesterday. I'm not sure how she'd be feeling now.
Oh, they know they can come from behind. They did it yesterday. I think that's the good part about the Aussie team. They don't ever give up without a fight.
They don't. Jacky just powering on, needs it to stay up. That'll go into the ditch.
Yeah, well, Jack's ended up nearly ditch to ditch here this end, so I think it's the longest end we've had for the game. We did have a fairly long end earlier, but I don't think it was quite this long, so it's probably a little bit different length for the teams to adjust to.
And the green does get a lot quicker there, doesn't it, Brett, behind the jack, from the jack where on the tee to the ditch, because it's where everybody's standing, so it's a lot firmer, the ground there, so it's a lot quicker than the rest of the green. So the bowls do run on.
Yeah, both leads just going into the ditch, just a bit longer length. They're pushing in a little bit too firm.
It's an intriguing battle here. Australia win another end, and it's panic stations for May and Herman.
Yeah, well, they really need to win this end to stay in touch.
What a monumental effort it was from Jake and Jacky in the last end to score a 4. All of the last 4 bowls were counters. And Jacky has made the correction here, but is she too short?
That bowl will run on.
No, it has run on, and, well, not far away. Great correction from Jacky Hudson.
A good tip for bowlers out there, when the green is quick and you know you're a little bit heavy going through all the time, it's getting quicker and quicker, is just aim that, don't look at the jack and bowl to the jack, is just aim that yard or 2 short of the jack and the bowl will just roll in. That's basically what Jacky's just done there.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of bowls outside that one. Good correction.
So, Herman Scholtz and May Homer desperately need this end. What has May Homer got? The lead battle has been intriguing, that's for sure. Jacky Hudson holding sways. They've both got one to come.
Both been getting their line really well in this direction, you know, which is a good thing. So that's
Well, yeah, you look at those two bowls there, and even the ones that went into the ditch, they were pretty much on the centre line.
Jacky Hudson's last bowl on the backhand now, just caught a little bit short and wide. May force Homer onto the forehand now, whether she
might
changes.
be in the way.
Yeah, it could be in a line. Could still just slip around that one, but
just having that discussion out there between both of them.
yeah, on the forehand, the blue one's sort of in the road as well, so a little bit of traffic both hands really, so just need to navigate around.
Yep. Final bowl of the end coming for May Homer, this 9th end of 15. Australia lead by 7. 6 bowl, or 3 bowl pairs, 6 each for the teams. Untimed. Take as long as you need. World Bowls Championship gold medal up for grabs. The very first para gold that we're going to be awarding. She's not far away. Here is May Homer. Just drifts through, so she managed to navigate around, didn't she, there?
Yeah, she stayed on the green at the back there, probably 2 feet from the ditch, so it could be handy later for Herman.
We're going to see a change of hands here and for Jake, or will he continue just to go where Jacky has been?
It looks like he has indicated that he could possibly be looking at that forehand coming down there. Hasn't played, I don't know whether he has played any bowls on that forehand coming down on that side.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to promote May Homer's front bowl there, so he needs to make sure he's got his line right.
Jacky a little bit frustrated with herself with that short bowl as she walked past it, but she still won the battle. But this 9th end still very well and truly up for grabs. Australia leading 12-5. It's the perfect scenario for them. They've lost 3 of their last 4 matches against this South African lineup.
Very good weight.
Yep, he doesn't want to promote this bowl like you said, Brett. He got it out to the side, so
probably good enough to count.
No harm done.
Yeah, he's opened it up for his next one now, so similar sort of bowl to that one will come in nice there.
Well, you said he wanted to get his line right. It was precariously close.
Pretty good attempt here from Herman on the backhand. Just needs to run.
That'll do.
Yeah, very good shot.
Herman Scholtz flexing his muscles. Nicely played from the South African skip.
Herman's from the Pretoria Municipal Club, Pretoria, South Africa.
Sounds fancy. Good evening, or be very early in the morning in South Africa. To those who are watching on and watching your Chargers go head-to-head for a World Bowls Championships gold medal. Jake Fehlberg sends his down. He doesn't want to promote Herman's. Well, has he counted?
Just fallen out, I think.
Yeah, Rob Hudson was about to put up the finger, but
then it fell out.
Yep, then it fell out, and then he gave a little sigh. So I reckon it might just be one to South Africa at the moment, with Jake having one to come, Herman 2.
It's 2:17 a.m. at the moment in South Africa.
There you go. So if you are watching, credit to you for staying up, and good morning. Hopefully the coffee is ready. We've still got a fair bit to play here. Having said that, I haven't had my morning coffee yet, so I'm probably due after this.
Just dropped his weight a little bit there, Herman. They really need to score a multiple here to get back in touch with the Australians.
So definitely one to South Africa here, confirmed by our marker, Vicky.
He's just indicating that they have 2 seconds, possibly.
Yeah, we might see a bit of aggression here from Jake. Try and go for the bowl. Firm weight on the forehand. Could even play it on the backhand if he wishes.
If he gets it, he won't clear all the bowls out in terms of all the seconds that Australia has. So they're studying, surveying.
Homer has the best back bowl, so if he happens to hit it onto the jack,
that's the risk there.
South Africa will still have the shot. He would just need to make sure that front bowl goes all the way to the ditch if it gets through the jack. It'll just give Herman more room to draw another one, that's all. But maybe in this context of the game, good leading 12-5, might be best to just try and draw the shot. Don't want to give Herman any more room to draw another one for a multiple. So
exactly. Multiples are not what the Aussies want to concede right now. If they do concede, they want it to be in singles and make South Africa peg leads back as little as they can. Just constantly have bowls in the area.
Jake just talking to his coach. I think Claire Turley is the rink coach here today for the Australian team. Former Australian representative in her own right.
Yep, won a world championship with the lady sitting to our right in 2008.
He's going for it.
Big weight. You alluded to it, Brett Wilkie. What's he got? A result. Ooh, has he?
Oh, he nearly got lucky, but yeah, he was offline to what he was after.
I thought that blue bowl was going to stop rolling because it got very close to the jack, but it's one red at the moment, so Herman now comes up. Wasn't far away.
Well, it has created an option now for the South African team. They could look to play aggressive themselves if they're willing to take a risk. Yeah.
Well, they're holding one, so... Because if they sit both of those bowls out, then that's a 4.
There is one bowl.
It'd be 4, potentially 5 if he stays, but there is there's a fairly big gap between those two bowls. So I think percentages, he's probably best to just try and draw another one, I think. But the option is there if they wish to take it. But I would be tipping that he'll just try and draw another shot. He's holding one. If it was the last end and you needed that full count of 5,
you'd be going
for it.
Straight for it. But damage limitations, because if you do knock one of those Australian bowls, then that could be worst case scenario. So Herman Scholtz is on a pretty good line. Is it going to get there? Yep, that'll do.
Lovely goal.
Or will it? It has fallen out here.
Drop out.
So are we going to get a measure for a second here? Now having a look.
May see a measure. Yes.
Yep. Umpire coming out. Okay. So are we measuring for the shot or for second here? Might be measuring just for one.
Oh, I think they'll measure all round. Go to the blue bowl first.
Yep.
And go to the 2 reds.
So it's the blue of the Australians. Now to the first red of Herman Scholtz. That's clearly in. And now to the second. Is this a multiple for South Africa? Certainly is. So that's exactly what the doctor ordered for May Homer and Herman Scholtz. It's a 12-7 lead in favour of Australia's Jacky Hudson and Jake Fehlberg. Still a long way to go for the South Africans to peg this lead back, but a multiple is handy.
Yeah, 2 great shots there from Herman. Just hung on enough there. Weight was perfect. 2 shots keeps them within touch. But still, as you say, still a 5-shot lead to the Australians. After 9 ends, 6 ends to play. In the rink next door, we see the England girls 10-6 at the moment over Australia after 10 ends.
Playing well. They led 4-0. Australia got that to 6-4, and now 6 shots on the bounce for England with 5 ends to play. So I think Farrow and Tolshard would be thinking about having Christina Christic on the other end, and I wonder if that's going to be playing in their minds after that Com Games pairs final. Another lost Jack, so Australia will control the length here.
Yeah, just opting to shorten it up a little bit.
Again, in this direction, it happens. I think that's the 3rd end in a row that we've actually lost the Jack.
Yeah, I think they're looking at a similar end to going in this direction last time where they scored the 4 shots.
Yep.
So they'll be confident with that length, especially Jake, and 3 really good shots that end. Looks very similar length.
That Jack position looks pretty much identical.
It does, doesn't it?
30.
So, May Homer. Good thing is here for Australia. They'll have last bowl.
May, a member of the Benoni Country Club.
Yep, out there in the east of Johannesburg.
Come on, down the hill.
And
Very good opener.
great home. So now, Jacky Hudson. I think Australia winning another end, either this one or the next end. Just to keep consolidating this lead. And if they do drop, only concede in singles.
Yeah, the South Africans haven't won 2 ends in a row as yet, so
No. So that's a good
Australians
sign.
have done well whenever they've had the last bowl. They've always sort of made the most of it.
Australia have won 2 ends in a row twice. So looking good, but Australia have only scored 1 single, and same with South Africa, so we're pretty much scoring in multiples throughout most of this contest. Australia have won 5 of the 9 ends so far, South Africa 4, but a 3 and a 4 are Australia's last 2 scores, and both of them coming in this direction.
Yeah, they've definitely had the upper hand coming this way, so looking to replicate their last end where they scored a 4, but May Homer's had a good start this end. Probably the best start she's had in this direction for the South African team. A little bit of breeze just getting up there now. Jacky just adjusting herself, I think just waiting for it to die down a little bit.
So, Jacky Hudson, she's motoring along here. Will it find itself around the back? Not a bad home.
Yeah, it could be handy later on.
Just the one down to the Australians.
You mentioned earlier, Val, about multiples. Well, Australia now, they need to really consolidate if they're going to lose an end, only lose ones.
Yes.
You know, ones won't hurt them at this stage, but
Exactly. Because if they do win this end, it's going to be very difficult for South Africa, because they're going to need more than 1 an end to actually get this lead back. That's why it's important to be in the area. And May Homer, she's motoring. May come into play later.
Yeah, it could be a bit of insurance back there near the respot. The Jack's killed. We do have a respot on the 2 metre mark.
So Jacky Hudson, her last bowls have been magnificent. Great corrections from her all morning. And I tell you what, she's not far away. Needs it to get down. It is just going to come through. Well, she might have had the weight to sit that bowl, but missing high. So again, some insurance. All the bowls are passed here. Nothing short.
Yeah, she wasn't far off sitting that bowl.
No.
I think she was only trying to draw the shot, but nearly got a little bit fortunate.
Good to have you company from wherever you're watching from around the world. We welcome you to Club Helensvale. Val Febo, Brett Wilkie and Julie Keegan here with you. The two people sitting alongside me have both won a gold medal at the World Bowls Championships. They know exactly what it's like. And guys, what would be going through the minds of all 4 of these players right now, being A, South Africa behind and B, Australia in front?
Well, I think there's still, for South Africa, there's still plenty of ends to be played. You know, they're holding shot here, just looking to get another one in there. Not too far away with this bowl.
Herman Scholtz pops in a second. Nicely done.
They're just thinking chip away if they can hold. And, you know, the Australians, you know, you can't get complacent with your lead. You've got to still be attacking and playing like you're behind. You know, just if you, their goal, I think, would be just to win probably 2 or 3 of the next remaining ends, and you know, that hopefully would get them over the line.
I know Kelsey Cottrell is one that likes to reverse the score. So Jake Fehlberg needs this to run on. It's just going to drop short, but the line wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's a very good tactic, trying to reverse the score as well. I often use that if I'm trying to add with my last bowl and there's no bowls left. I'm saying to myself, you know, you're down, trying to draw the shot, you know, try and get as close as you can, because you can sort of think, oh, sigh of relief, I've got, you know, 1 or 2, and then you sort of, you know, back off a little bit. So just keep applying that pressure.
Real opportunity now for Herman, holding 2. A fair bit of room to get a 3rd one here.
Yep.
He's looking very good. He's got to pull up.
I think that has pulled up. All right. So they are asking the question here of the Australians. 3 here for South Africa. All of a sudden, there's some support from the crowd for Jake.
You've still got a little bit of room there, Jake, to draw the shot.
He's played some great bowls in this direction. He knows what the line is out there.
Well, Rob Hudson is a fan of it.
Yeah, what a shot.
That is why Jake Fehlberg.
And he's put it in a great spot too, right just behind the Jack. Hard to get to pop it out.
There's the high five, Julie, from Cody.
Very good.
We
Love
did
it.
see it. So now all of a sudden the question asked of Herman Scholtz. Jake Fehlberg, what a draw player he's been today. I look back at those ones in the ditch where Australia scored a 3. And just absolutely sensational. England have scored another 11-6 in the women's 4s. It's after 11 ends, so 4 ends to play there. Australia need a big multiple there. And Jake Fehlberg with an opportunity to pop in a second here and really tighten the screws.
Yeah, well, that was huge from Jake, that second bowl in the context of the game. Handy lead, 3 down under pressure. He's come up with a clutch shot again. Brilliant shot under pressure. Jake
Fehlberg. Someone saying, and again.
Changing the forehand now. That last bowl of Herman's just sort of got in his eye a little bit. So the open draw on the forehand.
Jake Fehlberg. He's not far away at all. Is he in? Needs it to stop. Good effort. It'll just be the one. Mighty effort, though.
Yeah, pretty fair attempt.
Australia would be happy with one on that end after being 3 down.
100%.
4-shot turnaround as we see Vicky Eva there from Perth, our marker.
Done a great job.
She has.
So, that is big from Jake Fehlberg. There is 5 ends to play, Julie and Brett. They are so close, they lead by 6. So South Africa now need more than 1 an end to get back into this. And if Australia can win multiple ends in a row for the 3rd time, it will make the task for May and Herman all the more difficult.
Yeah, we're getting into the business end of the game. This next 2 ends, very important for both teams.
World Bowls Championships gold medal on the line.
Women's fours, England are now leading 11-6 after 11 ends, so only 4 ends to play there.
Very precarious for the Australians, but in fours, there's 8 bowls out there, so it doesn't happen much, but a full count is possible.
Australia found themselves in this exact position yesterday, down 18-8 with 5 ends to go, and managed to get a 3 and a 3 on the last 2 ends to force an extra end and come away with the result. So they'd be drawing on that today, thinking we've done it yesterday, we can do it again.
100% it would be in the back of their minds.
You just wonder what's going through England's head, having that little lead. Are they thinking, don't do what Scotland did yesterday?
Exactly.
Very good start there from Jacky Hudson.
England were in a tight match against Wales in the quarterfinal yesterday morning. Wales pushed them to the absolute brink.
Exactly what Australia needed here. Jacky Hudson, first bowl, right in a perfect position, just behind the jack. They can keep it nice and tight now, keep any losses to ones. Keep them in a good position.
Indicated lovely line by Geoffrey Newcombe, the director of Herman Scholtz. It was a good line.
Could be handy there later on.
Well, I can bring you some news from the women's singles. Taylor Bruce leading Alan Ryan 20-10.
First one to 21 in the singles. Be a monumental comeback for Ellen if she could do it, but you never know.
No. Well, that is why Taylor Bruce is the world champion of champions. She's a very accomplished singles player, as Jacky Hudson just goes into the ditch.
A bit of a rush of blood there from Jacky.
Yep. So it's been the final bowls of each lead that has tended to be the one that's ended up winning the battle. So I reckon May's next one. Watch out for the bomb. This one might just be a little bit of a correction, and then I reckon we'll see another big one from May Homer. She's performed really well today. This one's just going to drop underneath, I think.
Very good effort there. Hear the cheers from England over there that they've just put another bowl in the hen. Playing the 12th end.
This is a big one for the Australians that they need to win in the women's fours. Meanwhile, right here, Jacky Hudson looking to make a correction, just resettling herself on the mat. That's good in these untimed games. Make sure that you are as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, if you get distracted, you're better off to step back, reset, start your process again.
The wind has totally dropped here. The flags aren't even moving.
Oh no, it's coming back then, Julie. All day we've said this and it's come back. So, Jacky Hudson, what has she delivered here? What has she delivered? Wants to stay with her own. She's just gone back, so it's a good home. But I alluded to the final bowls of each lead. And May Homer, I reckon she's in for a big one here. Catherine Rednall leads Kelly McCarrahan 2019 in the other women's singles semi-final. So Kelly McCarrahan, I reckon she'll boycott Green 1 here at Helensvale. Lost an AO semi-final here just a couple of months ago on that very green to Cass Millerick. And if she goes down to Catherine Rednall, I think she'll be pretty disappointed.
May Homer on the backhand now from South Africa. Her last bowl of the end. One down at the moment.
That's her weight.
May Homer.
She's close. Oh.
Almost. Almost.
She made a bit more room there now for South Africa to get in there, which is good.
Yeah, she wasn't far off sitting that bowl and staying, was she? A good attempt. We see them all crossing over now. A few words of encouragement on the way through.
So, this is, I think, the pivotal moment of the match here. If Australia win it, it'll go a long way to dictating who comes home with this gold medal. But South Africa win it, brings them back to the party.
Jake choosing the forehand now. First opportunity to put the pressure on. Holding one, drawing for two.
He's very close.
Best of the lot. And again, it's past the jack here, so there's nothing short getting in the way. Herman Scholtz, he'll have some room here.
Yeah, he can choose his hand.
He's a dangerous player at his best, and he's been at his best this tournament.
He's opting for the forehand, draw the shot, or he could sit on the back bowls.
Herman Scholtz, not far off at all.
He has played a great shot from Herman.
But I'm not sure if it'll sit for one. Still backing that last bowl of Jake Fehlberg. Vicky saying measure. A little trail here for the Australians, just towards their two. Could be advantageous.
Yeah, the angles just look like the blue might just have the shot there. Doesn't need to change much, Jake, from his last one. Played a good shot. Just needs to beat it. And he's opting for the backhand now. Well, any touch on that backhand can make it 3 shots here, so...
It's all in the weight.
Even if he gets close to Herman's bowl, it'll help try and prevent a multiple.
Jake Fehlberg.
All in the weight.
Oh, great try, mate.
Great try, got one more.
It could be handy there if Herman happens to trail a jack over in that vicinity. Could reduce the count. But yeah, any toucher for Herman could make 2 here.
Rednall and McCarrahan, 20 all. Women's singles, green 1. Canada have only ever won 1 World Bowls Championships gold medal. Herman Scholtz, that's a big bowl.
He's played a bomb.
He was a little bit unlucky there. He back cut the jack, which was probably guaranteed it only to be 1 shot. If he got the jack the other direction, he would have scored 2. Very good shot there from Herman Scholtz.
So, Jake Fehlberg, this is a big bowl now, because if he can wrestle the shot back and just keep applying this pressure on Herman, Australia, it'll go a long way to determining who wins this match. Australia get one back in the fours. 11-7 after 12 in favour of England. 3 ends to play right here though. Australia 13-7 after 10. There's 4 ends to go after this. Jake Fehlberg, I'll tell you what, he's not far away here. Sits his last, so Herman now a chance to get in a second and make it a 4-shot margin with 4 to play.
If Herman could touch the jack a few inches, he could make it 3. Right now they'd be just wanting to get on the board and close that gap. He likes it.
He does.
Just needs a turn.
And I don't know if... Yeah, that'll
Yes.
do. That will do.
Yeah, 3 very good shots there from Herman Scholtz.
Well, they make their move. Are we going to be measuring for a third? Looks as though it's going to be 2. Yes. Vicky puts up the 2 red paddles. 4 shots is the difference. 4 ends are what's to play. Australia have led since the end of end 5. They have not dropped the lead. But South Africa, they're asking a little question. We sit and wait.
I'm sure that'll boost the confidence for the South African skip. Herman, 3 very good bowls then.
Well, we're going end for end. This direction has been the one that's been dominated by Australia. They've won the last 3 times going in this way towards the big grandstand at the back there.
Touch longer length than what we've had the last couple of ends in this direction.
What would happen if the bowl hit the director's foot? Would they get it back?
I don't know. Would it just be out of bounds? Because the director, I guess, has the duty to...
Yeah, I would think that'll be a dead bowl.
Yeah, dead bowl.
It would need to travel the minimum distance. If it doesn't,
Yep.
it would be a dead bowl.
Because the director's duty to get out of the way.
Yeah, that's right.
So Taylor Bruce is through to the women's singles final. Wins 21-12 over Alan Ryan. Taylor, a very accomplished singles player. Looking to carry the mantle that Val Smith and Joe Edwards have done before her.
Well, she had a very comprehensive win through her sectional play, I think. She went through undefeated, Taylor.
Yep. Very impressive, Taylor Bruce. The New Zealand Blackjack. The blue ribbon singles. And Jacky Hudson. This is motoring. She'll need that to stop. And it will at the edge of the rink. Or actually, no, that's pulled up a fairway.
Yeah, both leads need a fair bit of correction here, just pushing a little bit quick. Naoma on the backhand now for South Africa.
Yeah, they're opting to play different sides of the rink, which is interesting. May's playing the wider side, and
It's good
Jacky's
correction
playing
though.
the top. Very good correction.
Yeah, good shot. Cody Fehlberg just giving them a bit of a sider. Standing behind the jack there, giving them a guide where it is. Jacky Hudson now playing the forehand. Shot a fairly good line if it's enough. Not quite. Well, opportunity now for May Homer to put the pressure on here for South Africa. On the backhand again, last bowl of the end for her.
Yep. And this is where both leads have really worked their magic.
Yeah, it's all about a game of correction, so that last bowl was your last opportunity to learn from the first two. Yeah, another good shot there from May. Holding two now.
So that's the shot, her last bowl.
Well, Jacky had good line with the last one, just needs a touch more weight. Just come up off that one a little bit, just pushed it narrow, I think. Good bit of weight though, she might do some damage.
Let's see what happens. Just going to drip past.
Yeah, well, the South Africans now have an opportunity. Herman had a good end last end. Herman played 3 good bowls last end, so his confidence will be there for on the draw shot. So opportunity here to put Jake Fehlberg under pressure.
We have seen Jake play some bombs going this way, so Australia will be hoping he can pull another one out of the bag going this way.
Yeah, well, he was 3 or 4 down earlier, wasn't he, when he drew the shot?
So the New Zealand women's para pairs team, Julie O'Connell and Terry Blackburn, they stand behind us as they get ready for their women's para pairs semi-final. Oh, sorry, final, I should say. Coming up against Scotland, the Commonwealth Games champions, and that's good from Herman Scholtz. Now, the question being well and truly asked.
Yeah, holding 3 now, South Africa.
A couple to rest on the backhand there for Jake.
He has played that backhand fairly well in this direction.
The Argentinian team walks into the grandstand as well. Guys, did you hear them during the week? They are very loud and raucous. They're great, but they love Lionel Messi. They absolutely love him. You mention his name and they start chanting him.
Just a little bit short there, Jake.
Bit of sledging too from the Argentinians. I asked them to do a video for Bowls Australia's Facebook page, and they said, "Oh, the French are training over there. Do you want to get them in the background after the World Cup final last year?" But I made them do it on the green, so we didn't get the French in the background. So, opportunity here for...
Just changing hands now, Herman. Changing to the backhand. That last bowl of Jake's just getting in his line, so opting for the open hand.
Aaron Wilson comes to say hello, and Aaron T standing directly behind us ahead of their final today.
And Herman puts another bowl in the head there. They're holding 4 now.
This is huge. Jake's got 2 to come. Needs to make one of these count. Because a 4, well, that ties up the game. Jake Fehlberg.
Is it going to get down?
It's coming. It is coming. Not enough.
Very good try.
All the more pressure now on Jake Fehlberg's last, and Herman Scholtz, the best thing he can do is get a 5th.
Coming down now to have a look, just taking their time.
Yep. All of a sudden, South Africa are looking very, very handy, but the thing is, if Jake was to play with any sort of weight here, guys, could he just dispose of all of those South African bowls with Australia having a few at the back?
If you get rid of 2 or 3, that'd still be at least holding 1 as it lies at the moment, but would be better than a 4. So I think it'll be up to Jake what he's confident with.
Yep.
If he's confident of drawing the shot, he'll stick to the draw. Otherwise,
he wasn't far away on that last one, on the last effort. Just missed high.
May opt for the forehand run, go for the jack, or clean a few of the bowls out. They've got all the backwood. Be a big difference if you got the jack back. It'd nearly be the match winner because they'd have 3 or 4. But if he misses, it's game on. So I think the South Africans are just looking now, do they cover the back to try and save that big shot, or do they put the pressure on, draw another one for 5?
Kelly McCarrahan has defeated Catherine Rednall. She likes green 1 now.
Got the monkey off the back.
Yep. So she's into this women's singles final to take on Taylor Bruce.
Big call here. Do they put the pressure on, go for an extra shot to take the lead potentially, or do they cover the back? What would you do, Julie?
If it was me, I'd be covering the back.
Covering.
I think so. If the jack goes back, it's game over.
And they have nothing there.
Especially with the respot rule, because, you know, jack goes back, kills, you know, your jack on the tee, trouble.
And I reckon that's where he's going. Or is he going to try and draw?
He's drawing another one.
He has, and more importantly, split it all up. So
yeah, he's changed the target now.
Makes it difficult for the jack to actually get back there. Does Jake go hard at this?
I think he's just got to draw now, the way it's lying at the moment.
Cut it down, because if you miss, then...
There was a target there before, but now they're separated. He's just got to try and draw the shot in his room. Can rest on those bowls too.
Exactly right, Jake Fehlberg. They don't mind it.
Ellen's yelling.
When Ellen yells, you know it's good. Jake Fehlberg. Jake Fehlberg. Oh, he's gone through.
Trailed the jack.
Yep, but it's gone through the wrong way, and it's 4. We're tied.
Not quite far enough, or didn't get enough of the jack, but great attempt there from Jake Fehlberg.
Bit unlucky not to land one of those bowls fat, or, you know, get the jack through the hole.
And all of a sudden, 13 apiece. 3 to play.
See a replay there, just needed the trail of jack in the middle, got the edge.
And it almost went far enough.
Yeah, a little bit further he would have been right, but very good end there from the South Africans. Both players contributing to a good end. Give them confidence going forward now, but...
And next door on the ladies' 4s is 1 more to England with 2 ends to play. I think there could be a...
They're up by 5.
5-shot lead to England.
So Australia, Jake and Jacky led.
First opportunity here for May Homer, playing the backhand, trying to put the pressure on. Beautiful conditions here at the moment here at Club Helensvale. The wind's died down, not quite as strong as it was earlier. The green's nice, sun's shining. Beautiful day here. Currently 21 degrees. We're expecting a top of 22, so just pleasant conditions. See Jacky Hudson on the mat now, playing the backhand also. May just leaving her with a bit of room. Looks a little bit quick also. Both leads with a little bit of a rush of blood with their first bowl. All about the correction though, isn't it, Julie?
Yeah, it's all about correction, and like we said, their line has been quite good.
South African team won their way through the semi-final against England yesterday, so they won 17-8.
They were down 6-0 though. So 17-2 they stormed home by.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround, isn't it?
Certainly is. Now, speaking of turnarounds, Australia need to turn the situation around here because the momentum is all with May Homer and Herman Scholtz.
It's a big correction from May. A very good bowl.
We've seen pretty good correction from both the leads. They've learnt from their previous bowls, which is good. This one looks a little bit quick again from Jacky. Could be handy later on. Best back.
Yep. Next final, para women's pairs are due to start at 11:45 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So 45 minutes. New Zealand and Scotland.
Another good ball here from May.
Yep.
Very good shot.
She is well and truly lifting. They are holding 3. It's up to Jacky Hudson now. 12-5 the Australians led. 3 of the last 4 ends have gone the way of South Africa to level this at 13 all. Is there another twist in this tale? And if so, what is it? Jacky Hudson. A big pressure bowl for her. She needs to get something close.
Better wait from Jacky. Is she there?
She's close. It's just not going to get there. The line was excellent.
Second shot, though. Have a look.
So she has cut it down. Very important to do that. The scoring has dried up for Australia. There was that big 4. Currently, I think England holding a couple against Australia as well. They're up 12-7 in the women's fours final.
Yeah, only 2 ends remaining over there, so Australia really needing to win that end. The women's fours.
So, Herman Scholtz. 2.5 ends to play. It's been an epic contest. Australia were well and truly ahead, but South Africa have worked their way back into it superbly. And Herman Scholtz, he's not far off. Can't take the jack back, and it's important that Jake is around the head.
Yeah, he could have made it a lot harder for Jake there if he just trailed that jack back in behind his front bowl. But still an open draw there for Jake on the backhand. Can promote his own if he's a little bit tight.
Jack Fehlberg.
The turn. Just a little bit quick.
Very so. Bit of a scratch of the head.
Not ready for his bowl yet.
No, he looks a bit frustrated out there. He's just got to put it past him. Focus on the next bowl, which is what Herman Scholtz is doing. Geoffrey Newcombe gets out of the way again. Have some killer dance moves, I reckon, Geoffrey Newcombe. Herman Scholtz. Well, that's a very welcoming sight of red at the back of the head there. If that jack gets moved at all, it is dangerous.
Yeah, even if Jake can just finish just past here,
just to get,
if he doesn't get shot, get second shot just past would be very crucial at this point of the end.
Jake Fehlberg, has he got the weight here?
Needs to run a bit.
Needs to run a bit more. So close. Good effort.
Perfect line.
So, Herman Scholtz is coming down to inspect, and I like this.
It'd be good to Jake to come down and have a look as well.
Yes, he is, so that's good. Jake could have potentially blocked that path with Herman's there. He may opt to change his hand, worried about touching that blue. There is a lot of room to get around it though, so coming to the head he will see that. And Jake knows what he's got to do as well.
Yeah, the forehand, he can lay his own bowl down onto the jack as well, so he's got really a couple of options on the forehand if he's confident of changing over.
I think ultimately he'd be loving to touch that jack though and make 4 or 5.
Yeah, he probably only needs to move it about 6 inches to make it minimum 3, potentially 5 if it's a little bit further. Probably would need to go about a foot to make the 5 count. Just discussing at the moment, weighing up the options. He has played 2 bowls on the backhand, so he may be more confident on the backhand. Wasn't too far out both times. Changing of the forehand, he's got a couple of options there. Can trail the jack if he sneaks under his own bowl, or can turn his own bowl onto the jack as well, make it harder for Jake Fehlberg.
He can. So.
He's also probably thinking he doesn't want to set up a target for Jake if he finishes jack high on the backhand as well.
So, an opportunity. It is just one to South Africa, which isn't the worst case scenario for Australia.
Whilst wanting the shot here, Jake does have to be very careful.
Yeah, it could go really bad here if he attacks it.
You can almost drop a 5, which would be almost game, set, and match.
Yeah. Only one down at the moment. Really, he just wants to flat draw. Doesn't want to play any weight to the head.
Cold draw is what's required. As Amy Farrow strides to the green to the mat on the other rink, looking to put England in a better position. Kelsey Cottrell's got one to come after that, and then we go to the final end.
He wasn't too far out with his last bowl, Jake. He only needs 2 feet of weight. Line was perfect.
Jake Fehlberg. Is he going how quick is he going here?
Bit wide of the target.
Yeah. So no harm done for Australia in terms of a big score, but the problem is South Africa, they haven't led since the end of N4. We're at the end of N13 and they've regained it. They have won 3 ends in a row, resulting in 7 shots.
Yeah, definitely have the momentum at the moment, so big end here for the Australian team.
I guess having last bowl for Fehlberg and Hudson could be good heading into the final end, so who knows? 2 ends to play. South Africa lead by 1. Herman Scholtz and May Homer have forged a remarkable comeback. They were down 12-5 just 5 ends ago after 8.
We could see an extra end if
we could.
If the Australians score 1 here.
Are the vocal cords ready? Might get 16 ends. But if the Australians score a 1, then it's just a straight shootout. A 1-end shootout for the win.
Unless they have a tied end, you never know. It's
is
rare.
That is true. It does happen. I've seen it at a BPL before.
1 more to England in the ladies' fours.
6 shots Australia require to send it to an extra end. 7 to win. That is difficult. So, this is where legends are made of, these final 2 ends of a World Championships final when things are close. That's why the 2 superstars sitting alongside me are made of the right stuff. You guys have gone on and done it and won gold.
Yeah, these are the clutch moments. It's when it's time to stand up.
How are the nerves in these situations?
I think the players have all had a lot of experience at different levels of Commonwealth Games and that sort of thing, apart from Jacky hasn't been at a Commonwealth Games, but she's been at the World Championships. But the other 3 definitely been at World Champs and Com Games. A lot of experience. So we see a great shot here from May Homer. Perfect start to the end.
Great opener.
And now talk about the lead battle, because May Homer was getting soundly beaten through the middle portion of this match by Jacky Hudson. She has lifted again.
She has definitely lifted, and it's probably just that extra little bit of experience that May has had over the years, and that will definitely come with Jacky. But like you said, in these clutch moments, you've got to just, take a big deep breath and play the big bowls.
Bit of a rush of blood there from Jacky.
So,
don't think it's stayed on the rink either. It's gone out.
Yep,
so.
that's outside the peg. That's picked up by Geoffrey Newcombe and popped on the bank. Not what the Australians needed, but correction required. And we've seen her do it all morning, Jacky Hudson. But May Homer looking to put a stranglehold on this hand already for South Africa. She's close with 1. What can she do with her second? Thoroughly enjoyable contest in the very first para final at a World Bowls Championships, and it's the Vision-Impaired that have kicked us off.
Very good line again. Handy home there.
We've had a coffee delivered to us, Brett. It's been a great morning.
It's going down quite nice.
Certainly is.
Just need a good correction here from Jacky.
Jacky Hudson, this is much better weight. Jacky Hudson gets it in for second. Now, even if the Australians do lose this end, if it is a 1, they might not mind that so much, because having last bowl, they've scored a lot of 2s in this contest so far.
Yeah, sometimes it is a bit of a confidence booster knowing you've got that last opportunity. Hopefully, if you've got the last bowl, you don't need to use it. But
yes, exactly,
it's always
right.
good to have that bit of insurance that at the end of the day, it's in your hands and not your opposition.
What do you normally prefer, Brett? If you'd won the toss and an extra end, would you normally give it away?
I think it just depends on whether you're dominating on a length or not. If you're really dominating on, say, a ditch to ditch, well, you may take it and go for it. But more often than not, would probably give the mat away and take that last bowl opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Val was
100%.
mentioning yesterday in the extra end with Australia and Scotland that Scotland won the toss and opted to keep the mat. Obviously wanted to just try and play to their strength.
Yeah, sometimes you can put the pressure on first if you've got first opportunity to nail the jack. You can put the pressure on right from the first bowl.
Yeah, personally, I'd always like to have that last bowl and know that, you know, it's in your hands, because if something changes and you've got no control over it, them playing the last bowl, it's not a good feeling.
Jacky changing the backhand now. She's close to the bowl. What a
She's
shot.
got it, Jacky Hudson, and she's stopped for shot. She wins the lead battle.
Just rolled in nicely there. Good changeover. She's been playing the forehand. That front bowl just blocked her off, but she's come down, sat the shot bowl, and just rolled in for shot. So, great shot there from Jacky Hudson of Australia. Pat on the back there from her husband, Paul.
Yep. So, May and Paul Homer have done their job. Jacky and Rob Hudson have done their job. Now it's up to Hermanus Scholtz and Geoffrey Newcombe. Jake and Cody Fehlberg. Australia, well, it's not looking like they're going to win the women's fours, but they've lost the women's singles. Australia don't want to go 0 from 3.
No, definitely not.
Of course, these two wouldn't know what the scenarios have been. What has Hermanus Scholtz got here? Herman, he's just trickled through, but what an effort.
Couldn't have played much better. He gave it every chance.
Got 2 more bowls left, Herman. He's never far away.
No, his skipping ability has been sensational.
Jake will be wanting to put another one in here.
Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson, they have made their way towards the rink. Here it is, Jake Fehlberg for his first bowl of the penultimate end. Australia currently holding 1. They've lost the last 3. A multiple here for Australia would be massive.
Yeah, it gives them a lead. It's always good to have that lead going into the last end.
Certainly is. Now, one of Hermanus Scholtz and Jake Fehlberg will be the first ever para bowler to have won the Com Games World Bowls Championships double. Jake is underneath.
His weight was good. Perfect weight. A bit of breeze got him early there, I think. Pushed him across.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate that breeze did pick up just as Jake delivered that bowl, pushing it right across. Weight was quite good.
Yeah.
Well, Herman wasn't too far away with his last. Doesn't have to change much.
Minor correction from Hermanus Scholtz. A little split step from Geoffrey Newcombe. Comes in immediately after that. Herman is not far away again. What has he got? What has he got? Just missing high this time. In the area. Ominously in the area from an Australian point of view, but May Homer would like what she sees from Herman with what he's been dishing up. Jake Fehlberg.
It's on a wider line.
Not as much wind to worry about this time. It's coming. Just doesn't roll up enough. He just needed a little bit more weight on that.
Maybe a nuisance bowl for the South African.
Could be. Well, it's going to be up to Jake's last if Herman can't do anything about it. Because Australia, they'd rather go into the final end with a lead instead of tied.
Yeah, just discussing it at the moment, whether they navigate underneath that bowl or whether they change to the more open hand. Has been in the area with both his first 2, so I'm sort of backing to stay on that backhand and try and just slip under that last one. Just needs to correct his minor correction of both weight and line.
Even if he slips under and if he just touches that jack, or he could land the shot bowl, he has chances.
He only needs the roller shot bowl once, he makes 2.
Herman Scholtz again, just.
Wasn't far off that shot bowl. Jake Fehlberg now needs to make the most of the opportunity. Chance to make 2 here, take the lead into the last end. Just needs a touch of weight on his last.
Jake Fehlberg, he's not a mile away.
Does not want to touch the jack.
Not a mile away, needs it to stop, it won't. Grandstand finish.
Well, level last end.
14 apiece.
Well, this is our sudden death end.
Yep, it is an extra end, but just in the allotted time. So.
See our marker there, Vicky Eva. She's done a great job all the way from Perth.
It comes down to this. 6 bowls separate each of these 4 from a world title. It all depends on who can nail it. Australia, they won't have last bowl. So either way, Herman Scholtz is going to have it in his hand.
First bowl's crucial here now. If you can jump on close to the jack, put the pressure on.
Yep. You want to be on this early.
And South Africa will have the last bowl.
They will, so that's... Is that out of bounds, this jack? Nope, stayed in, all good. Reminder, we're going to hear from the winners after this. Be jumping out onto the green.
Jacky Hudson from Australia on the mat, playing the backhand. Just taking a little reset there. Just taking a time, which is good to see.
Yep.
Big pressure end.
This is everything. So World Bowls Championships on the line.
Just got distracted there, so she's taking some time.
Really good from Jacky Hudson, making herself as measured as possible.
Women's 4s in their last end. Looking pretty hard there for Australia. They need 6. The way the bowls are lying, I don't think it's possible. One more bowl there from Kelsey Cottrell. Australian skip.
So not bad from Jacky Hudson. Good weight.
Very good opener.
Fabulous weight. The wind is swirling. It's not easy. May Homer now. This is huge for her confidence. England, the world force champions, women's force champions, that is. What a win for them. Against the home nation, May Homer. What has she got? How is her line? It's coming. How far has it gone? It'll do, I think.
Just one so far.
Yep. Good starters from both leads. And at the moment, South Africa hold game.
Jacky's weight was good with the first. She just needs a fraction more grass.
Jacky Hudson.
Wider line.
I'll tell you what, she's not far off here. Jacky Hudson needs it to pull up. They have the tee at least. Big clap from Jake Fehlberg.
Yeah,
it's
very
right
good
on the
home there.
tee. So if Jake does need to go at things, Australia will have it. But again, Herman Scholtz will have the final bowl. May Homer for her second. Women's 4s final done. England win. Lindsay Clark will have to wait till next week to try and go out with a World Championship title in the women's triples.
His weight was pretty good with the first, just needs to correct the line a little bit.
May Homer. This one is going to drop short. Is it in the way though?
Could be a nuisance bowl.
One red. Jacky Hudson confers with Claire Turley. Now she takes the bowl from her husband Rob's hand.
Change over the forehand, I think, the open hand. You wouldn't want to crash on that last one.
She trailed one into the ditch before. Go for it again, maybe, Jacky. Do it in style.
Yeah, Lenny Touch is heading back towards her own back bowl. She hasn't had a lot of bowls on this forehand.
No.
Jacky, so.
Weight's not looking too bad.
No, it's not. It needs to get down. It needs to turn. Jacky Hudson, this might be the boss. That's the one.
Brilliant shot.
Her final bowl of the match. Crucial.
What a great changeover. As we said, hardly bowled any bowls in that hand, and she's played a brilliant shot in the context of the game. See the replay there, just turned in nicely.
Well, Jacky's done her bit. She can't do any more.
She can only watch in angst and with anxiety. May Homer now for her final bowl of the match. We sit at 14 all. This is the last end. There's 7 bowls to come in this match. And I really like this from the Australian women's contingent, the open women. They are all staying and watching the conclusion of this match. They're watching their compatriots play for gold despite their own misfortunes this morning. That one dropped short, so it was a nuisance bowl for herself, Julie.
Yeah, I thought May have changed hands as well there, same as the Australians, but chose to stuck with the backhand.
Yes, I thought she may have changed hands. She could sit on the shot bowl on the forehand and could have watched the line of Jacky.
So, final end. The skips stride to the mat, and it is Herman Scholtz and Geoffrey Newcombe of South Africa, Jake Fehlberg and his brother Cody of Australia. Australia led it 12-5 after 8 ends in this contest. South Africa then won 4 of the next 5 ends to take a 14-13 lead with 2 to play. Australia won the penultimate end, and we're 14 all after 14. Australia holding 1. Jake Fehlberg wants to add in a second and really put the pressure on Herman Scholtz. The weight is okay. How is the line?
Good home.
The very first Para World Bowls Championships gold medal is on the line. It's history. Geoffrey Newcombe asking Paul Homer if Australia have the tee, and they do.
A very good setup for the head for the Australian team here, because any jack movements coming towards their bowls. They've got the tee.
And it's something that they haven't had in this South African run of ends. Herman Scholtz missing high, but he does sit and stay around.
Jake's weight was perfect with his last bowl, so just needs to adjust his line.
The wind swirling a little bit, but Jake with his penultimate bowl of this final.
Need another bowl in there, the Australians, holding 1.
Another bowl in the head or ultimate result for Jake will be a little touch on that jack. Tuck
And
away.
he's looking all right. Alan Faulkner, you can hear it from the other side of the green. It's moving, it's going. That is not bad at all from Jake Fehlberg, and a big roar from the crowd and a big applause from Jacky Hudson.
He's put it right in a great spot too, just in front of the jack. Not easy to get out of this one for the South Africans.
That's exactly right. Brett can't really afford to attack, because if the jack sprung out and it was cool, we're on the tee.
Yep.
Very good setup for the Australians here.
It's
Can
exactly.
only afford to probably land the bowl or draw the shot cold.
And Herman Scholtz, well, in this run of ends for South Africa, he's been doing it.
Yeah, he could get both the front bowl onto the back bowl. It's possible. May move the jack into the open if he's playing weight. Not an easy one to draw. He doesn't have a lot of room. Coming down to have a look now.
Yep, this is a great idea. He's got 2 left, and he needs to make everything count. Everybody congregated around this rink, watching the dying stages of this final, which sees us at level pegging, and Australia currently holding sway with 3 bowls left in this match.
I think he's got to play weight down on the backhand, try and push the shot bowl either onto the jack to open it up, or get the front bowl onto the back bowl. He could get them both clean.
Give himself a chance at drawing with his next. He's got 3rd shot though, hasn't he?
The jack goes back into the ditch. We'll give him a room with his last bowl.
Yep. And then I think he's saying Geoffrey Newcombe here. He's Herman Scholtz's director, just saying cold draw is one of the options.
And you come in here and you finish here. And position. You understand?
Swaying up the options at the moment.
Great to hear on the mics.
Sounds like they're going to just try and play a full draw on the forehand. If he doesn't quite get the shot, he'll finish in a good position.
Yes.
Could get second shot. Could be in a handy home for any jack movement.
2 to play for Herman, 1 for Jake. Australia currently holding. This is where legends are made, in these positions, in these bowls.
Bit of breeze getting up there. You can just see his shirt blowing.
He's no stranger to the big moment, Herman Scholtz. He's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
These are the ones as a skip you want to play with your second last bowl and not your last.
Certainly. Now it's coming. He's not far away here, Herman Scholtz. He might just drift underneath.
Geez, weight was spot on.
It was bang on. Now, Jake Fehlberg, where does he go here, Julie and Brett? What are you thinking? Where does he need to put this to try and mitigate any sort of danger?
Well, he doesn't want to set up a target, so I don't think he should be going anywhere near the head. It's a pretty good setup at the moment. If he can get a 3rd shot.
Does he come sort of around the back where Cody's standing right now?
He could play down there and just beat Herman's last bowl for a 3rd shot in case they go for the both bowls. And if he misses there, he could just finish in a good home just past. But they do have the best back and the tee.
I'm liking that option. Backhand just inside the last bowl of Herman's.
Yep.
Give himself basically another counter, and if the jack did happen to spring out there with Herman's next bowl, it's another catcher.
It's been a mighty comeback from South Africa. They were down 12-5 after 8 ends.
Last thing he wants to do, is fatten that target.
100% correct.
Just talking to Claire Turley here, the Australian rink coach.
Take as long as you need.
Yeah, that's right. Don't need to rush these things. Also, the longer you take, the longer the South Africans have got to wait as well. So.
Yep, and they have to think about it. So, as it stands, Herman Scholtz is going to have to put down his final bowl. Jake Fehlberg doesn't want to create a target here. Where does he go? Commonwealth Games gold medalist of 2018 and the Commonwealth Games gold medalist of 2014. You could not ask for a better finish.
On the backhand, he just needs to beat that last bowl of Herman Scholtz.
He's looking very
Jake Fehlberg. And he hasn't made a target at all.
Perfect shot there.
It's going to have to be a cold draw, I think. They've got the tee, they've got the setup. Jacky Hudson can't watch.
Perfect shot there from Jake Fehlberg. Hasn't set up a target. He's got the third shot. Hasn't lined up anything that they can get 3 bowls, although he can potentially come down on the backhand. And
well, he's gone for it. It's on its way. Herman Scholtz. He's close. He's not far away, but it's gone through, and Australia win the World Championship. The Vision-Impaired mixed pairs goes to Jake Fehlberg and Jacky Hudson in an epic. They score a 3 on the final end to win it 17-14. They win the very first World Bowls Championships para gold medal. It's the husband and wife team of Jacky and Rob Hudson, the director, and Jake and his brother Cody Fehlberg. Jake becomes the very first para bowler to win the Commonwealth and World Bowls Championships double after a classic contest against May Homer and Herman Scholtz, who go home with the silver. What a match, Brett Wilkie and Julie Keegan.
what a finish.
Absolutely fantastic finish, and tears of joy from Jacky. And well, she should.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. Husband and wife, brothers, playing together down to the wire, and a great opportunity, a great shot there from Herman on the last. You know, he gave it every chance, but wasn't quite to be, so the Australians have come home with the win.
Just phenomenal.
So we see all the Australian team out there congratulating, supporting their Jackaroos teammates. But full credit to the 4 players. It was an amazing game. Australians got out to an early lead. Full credit to the South African team. Worked their way back into the game to be level last end and down to the last bowl of the game.
Oh, most definitely. The South Africans played superb bowls all the way through the whole tournament and today. And, you know, it's just a shame there's got to be a loser, but, you know, it doesn't get any closer than that.
Yeah, exciting stuff here at Club Helensvale. As we mentioned, we've had 2 finals here this morning and also another 3 finals to come this afternoon. So a lot of exciting action here as we just see some replays there of some great shots there from the Australian lead. Herman Scholtz, great shot there. Both skips played some clutch bowls throughout the game. Another great shot there from Jake Fehlberg. May Homer, magnificent trail there under pressure. And what a shot there from Jacky. Trailed the Jack into the ditch, sat right on top of it. Much to the excitement.
Oh, this is where Jake draws 2 to the ditch.
2 amazing shots there from Jake Fehlberg, right on the edge of the ditch. And that was a clutch end for Australia to give them their lead early in the game. As we now cross over to Val with the winning Australian team.
Thank you very much. I am here with the winning team, Jacky Hudson, her husband and director, Rob Hudson, and Jake Fehlberg and his brother, Cody Fehlberg, his director. What an unbelievable performance. Jacky, we'll start with you. How are the emotions right now? You were emotional yesterday, but now you've got a World Bowls Championships gold medal around your neck very soon.
I'm actually, for the first time in my life, lost for words, which is quite unusual. I really just can't quite believe it. 12 months ago, I would never have pictured myself here, let alone with a World Championship. And my thanks to Rob and to these 2 gorgeous boys who come out and play with Nana so well. It's brilliant to have them with me as well. And I'm just so excited and so proud. And I just hope more people with a vision impairment take up bowls. You can, just because you can't see, doesn't matter. Come and play and just enjoy, which is what I do. I just enjoy the game and I enjoy the company.
You are having a wonderful time out there. Rob, how proud are you of your wife?
I'm very proud, and certainly very proud of the 2 boys as well. They played really excellent bowls today under a lot of pressure, and we came back from adversity a couple of times. So very proud of all of them.
Certainly. Now, Jake, we'll go to you, and you are the very first para bowler to win a Com Games and World Bowls Championship gold medal. So how does that sound for you?
Oh, unreal. Pretty special to do it with the team we did. We played pretty tough throughout the tournament, and it's pretty awesome to have those achievements to my name.
Now, they came back at Europe 12-5, and they really fought back to take a lead with a couple of ends to go. What was the key for you guys to really pushing back and zoning in and getting the job done?
We just had to stick with our process and our plans, and I think we pretty well did that. Jacky got the balls in the head, and I played a couple towards the end to sort of seal the deal.
One quick one for you, Cody. How proud of you of your brother after, you came in last year, an amazing performance, to get yourselves into this position in the final. How proud of you of him and of the team for the result?
Oh, very proud. To come out there and do that. We dug deep. We could have lost the plot when they called up, and we held it together and did really well.
Well, congratulations to the 4 people alongside me. An amazing performance, and they well and truly deserve this gold medal.
Thanks, Val. Yeah, what a great team effort from both our Australian players and also their directors, and full credit to the South African team. Great fight back. We're down early, came back into the game and down to the last end, Julie. Exciting finish.
Absolutely amazing finish, and hopefully everyone's up in South Africa watching that. You should be very, very proud of your team. They did an amazing job, and it could have gone either way. Just a great game of bowls.
Yeah, as we said during the telecast, both teams have had some ding-dong battles in not just this tournament, but also the World Championships at Tweed Heads in March earlier this year, multi-nations just after that, and over the years, all been world champions in their own right. So congratulations to the 4 players and their directors on an amazing final.
Yeah, wow, I'm already absolutely loving life here on our rink, and if that was anything to go by, we are in for a bumper of a day, and a massive congratulations to Jake and Cody Fehlberg and Jacky and Rob Hudson. An amazing performance. In very, very soon, we've got our women's para pairs match coming up, so that is between New Zealand's Julie O'Connell and Terry Blackburn, and Scotland's Rosemary Lenton and Pauline Wilson. So very much looking forward to that one. That's coming up very, very shortly on this rink. Val Febo and Julie Keegan and Brett Wilkie, you're going to join me. Very much looking forward to it. Thanks for your efforts.
Thank you.
No worries, Val. It was a great game. Looking forward to the next one.
Yes, certainly. That's coming up very, very shortly here. World Bowls Championships, first finals day here at Club Helensvale for 2023. We can't wait for more. Jack, belly, ditch. Holding 3.